Welcome
Sorry
everybody.
if there was like kind of a pause there.
Yeah, that's the whole
Exclamation
hiccupy
point
part of like doing a live broadcast. Like
Yeah.
we're working on the finger symbols, and like that one, like we were pointed at, which should have been an indication to us to say hi, but instead we paused.
We were looking at the fingers and we were like, ooh, fingers.
Slender, nice. Seems like they could be used to play the piano.
If there are guns in this
Ooh.
game, is something shooting?
Right.
No, we're on.
Okay. So welcome to Friday night. Welcome to Wildcards. This is our Savage Worlds Deadlands game. It's Deadlands for the time being and for the foreseeable future, but we reserve the right to change that up at any point. We are going to be continuing our adventures from last week, but before we get started, I just want to remind you guys that we have a lovely redesigned, beautiful website that you can visit at savingthrowshow.com. Our calendar is there. We've got a lot of other great resources. It's savingthrowshow.com. Gaurav, why are you making that face? Gaurav's here behind the camera, and already I can tell that our friendly rivalry is going to make this a really difficult game session for me. So, anyways. Also, you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/savingthrowshow. Was that one okay? Yeah, he's wiping his eyes. I don't know what's happening. Where you can back us on Patreon. And for those of you that are $25 a month backers or higher, a lot of you have already turned in your NPCs that we will be using in Wildcards, so I'm going to be trying to sprinkle those in liberally as we continue the game. Other than that, I guess we should do some introductions. So hi, I'm Jordan Caves-Callerman. I'm the marshal for tonight's show. And that's pretty much all you need to know about me. Let's start over here.
Hi.
What's Lane?
Hi, I'm Talene. I'm here tonight. I have a bandana on my head. I'm playing a character named Tort Law. Anything else they need to know?
Tell us, for those of us who are tuning in for the first time, like me, because I'm going to be honest, I totally checked out for the entirety of last session.
Sure.
Great.
Who is
We
Tort
can
Law?
tell.
Who is Tort Law? Yeah, I phoned it in hardcore.
Tort Law is a scout from the Coyote Nation,
Cherokee specifically, right?
specifically Cherokee.
Okay.
Yeah. Scout.
And she loves onions. We established that last
That's
session.
She didn't really
No.
love
did not
them.
know.
Yeah, someone
Did
offered
not
her
love
an onion
onion.
and was not pro, even
That's
though you were
true.
eating an onion at the beginning.
I ate an onion against my inclinations
Just to mess with people.
to mess with people.
And that's what you need to know about Tort Law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to Talene. That's
me.
You. That's your
That's
cue.
you.
That's your cue to
It's
jump
me.
in. Yeah.
I'm literally right next. Hi, my name's.
We've got to have some standard hand signals.
Yeah,
we really
we've
do.
got.
Gotta
'cause
work it out.
I was like,
Work.
whoa, oh.
Okay.
My name's Dom Zook. I am playing James Bogue, the gunslinger. He is a cut in the same cloth of a Lee Van Cleef from Fistful of Dollars.
I still don't know who that is. I should really look that
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
good, the bad, and the ugly. Basically, your typical kind of anti-hero of sorts. Came from the CSA, went through lots of trouble getting out of the CSA, and now is basically a mercenary, bounty hunter, all-around A-team kind of guy. So that's him.
Does he love it when a plan comes together?
I love it when a plan comes together.
All right. Let's move over to the other side of the table. We got Jordan, actual Jordan, not Marshall Jordan.
Yeah, just regular Jordan. Hi, I'm Jordan Pridgeon, and I'm playing Gabriel Pryor. I keep wanting to say Gideon Pryor, but it's not. It's Gabriel. Gabriel Pryor is a con man who uses the guise and trappings of a minister to get people to do what he wants, and is in a like Bonnie and Clyde style conning companionship relationship with.
Hi, with Rosaline is who he's
Right.
referring to.
It's a nice segue.
It was. My name is Meghan Caves, and I am playing Rosaline Byrne. She is, her really cup of tea is blackmail. It's really her thing. But she considers herself a very high-class escort. She's also a huckster, which is not common knowledge. She is from Ireland by way of Boston, basically. Her family's lived in Boston for a while. And, yeah, I don't know. I think that's all you need, really. So.
I love, again, you buried the lead of she's a huckster,
Well,
whatever.
listen.
She's from Boston.
It's important.
So that's fun.
That people don't know that, Jordan.
But
So-
Jack can know. You can tell. We can trust them.
I know, and I did.
We can trust
I
them.
shared it with them.
Guys, can we
They get secrets.
They do
get
get
real with you
secrets.
for a second?
Can we finally get real with them?
Can we trust you?
Thank God.
Can we trust you, mysterious strangers in chat who are capable of influencing the game? And maybe we should segue into that at this point. Those of you in chat, you are mysterious strangers in the world of Deadlands, and there are several things you can donate to activate for the players at the table. and maybe even me, kind of in an indirect way. So the first thing you can do is for an XP only donation, you can donate for a toast. And all of us at the table will toast to whatever it is you tell us to toast to, as long as you're cool about it. Be cool. After that, after the first 5 toasts are donated for with XP, we will open up a cascading tier of cash toasts that you can also donate for. So that should be fun. Apart from that, you can donate to give any one of the players at the table a piece of cursed Spanish gold. This functions as a reroll token for them. But after they use it, it goes to me, and I can use it as a reroll token. So there is a curse associated with these cursed pieces of Spanish gold. It's in the name, really. It's kind of self-explanatory. All right, I will. I'm gonna hit that after Garaf. Calm down, Garaf. Calm down, Garaf.
Garav's making finger
Yeah.
puppets over there
Yeah.
at Jordan. I don't
really-
know what.
It's real confusing.
I don't understand. The finger things have gotten really complicated. We should
Yeah.
really
What
we should
does
standardize
this
this.
mean?
I don't know. And this one, and there's a shadow behind him.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
I
happening.
didn't realize when I signed up for this, this would just be poking fun at me.
Yep.
Sitting back here. I wasn't aware.
Anyways, you can also donate for a fistful of cursed Spanish gold. That's 3 pieces of cursed Spanish gold for anyone of the guys at the table. And some of those were the actual words that I meant to say. You can also donate to heal one of these guys. You can heal 1
Please
wound
do.
from them. It's a
That's a big deal.
It's a really
it's a
big
big
deal.
deal for them. They can only have 3 wounds, and then if they take 1 more, potentially they can die. So that's a big deal.
It's very likely.
The final donation you can do is you can donate for them to draw. And when they draw, they will be drawing a card from the official Savage Worlds adventure deck. These cards give them the ability to influence the game in pretty major ways sometimes. There's a few duds, there's a few weird ones in there, but on the whole, they're really helpful. Only 1 player can get one of those per game, though. I'm sorry, 1 per player per game. There's got to be a more fluid way for me to say that, and I'll land on it next week. Those are the only things that they can donate for. And we have a few donations coming in right now. First of all, everyone raise your glasses.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
We have a toast. This one comes by way of BSB Care.
Oh, good.
We are toasting to Jordan Prime, whichever Jordan he is.
To Jordan Prime,
whichever Jordan he is. Set him up, knock him down. And then we also have another toast, so don't put
All
those
right,
drinks down just
okay.
yet.
Oh, good.
Ah!
This one is from Siffatrex. But because he put his name in the toast, I guess we'll say his name right.
Ah.
We are toasting Sci-Fi T-Rex because he so fly.
Sci-Fi T-Rex,
because he's so fly. Set him up, knock him down. And don't put him down just yet, guys.
okay,
because I just
okay.
got another one in on the screen.
We have a limit on these, right?
Well, yes.
We're just gonna be out.
Coming in hot. Coming in hot. This one's from Farquad. This is a long one, so pay attention.
Oh God. Okay,
Right.
hold on. Do I need to write it down? Take
No,
notes.
you're fine.
Okay.
To Marshal Teflon Neil Callerman, here's to a non-stick nickname for a man who never had a nickname stick, and to all your adventures in Western adventuring.
All right, we can
Wait,
do it.
wait,
Let's
wait.
just go. Just jump
Okay,
right in.
here's
To
to
Teflon Neil Kellerman.
Here's to a non-stick nickname for a man who never had a nickname stick, and to all of your adventures in Western adventuring.
Western.
Adventuring.
Marshal Teflon Neil, set him up, knock him down.
Let's try that one again.
I think we nailed it.
I think
Can we-
we.
It was exactly right.
Can we? Can I make an executive decision here?
What's that?
Don't make them that long.
Guys, welcome to We Toast for 45 minutes, and if there's time, we play a game. Hey, speaking of which, everyone pick up your drinks,
Oh.
because the infamous King Cupcake would like us to say. Because drinking is always fun, and, I guess for conning innocent townfolk, yee-haw. Because drinking is always fun, and, I guess for conning innocent townfolk, yee-haw! Set them up, knock them down. So if I've counted correctly,
That's 4, right?
that's only 4. We have one
We have
more that
one
can
more.
be
Hooray.
donated for. So I'm gonna maybe make the poor decision to put my drink back on the table. What? No, see, there are the confusing finger signals again. All right, so real quick before we get started, a couple bookkeeping things. Last session I forgot to award XP for you guys. So every session of Savage Worlds, you guys are going to get between 1 and 3 experience points. 1 experience point is for a session where you either weren't super successful or not a whole lot happened. 2 experience points is a pretty average session. 3 experience points, you guys took care of something pretty phenomenal, or did some really cool stuff, or accomplished a lot of things. So I'm going to give you guys 2 experience points for last session. So go ahead and mark that at the top of your sheet. For every 5 experience points that you gain, you guys get to advance, which is essentially a level up in this game. So
I'm just going to do tallies. So just remind
do
me I
that?
don't have 11 experience points if it comes around next.
okay.
Wow. All right.
And then also, there's another bit of bookkeeping that I wanted to do, and I'm stalling for time because I don't remember what it was. Hold on. I need all of you to give a count to chat of the current number of cursed pieces of Spanish gold that you have.
I have 12.
Dom has 12
Wow.
pieces of cursed Spanish gold.
I have 11.
Talene has 11
I
pieces
think
of
I'm-
cursed Spanish gold.
She
I'm
needs
not
one
happy
more.
that I got. Yeah.
She needs one more.
Really? I have 3.
I need 2 more because I have to
3?
beat Dom, not tie with
Megan
him.
has 3.
I have 3.
And I've got 4.
Okay.
Jordan's
And then-
okay, but
I'm happy.
And we got 4 for the table.
Well, I mean,
For
for the
the
table,
Yeah,
for
for
like
us.
for
half of
charity.
the table.
Yeah.
For charity.
Okay.
I'm lucky, so I get extra fate chips. So
That's true,
That's
and that's a
true.
good point. At this point, since we're starting a new session, we should all draw some fate chips.
All right.
Everybody's going to draw 3 fate chips from the Hat of Fate, except for Jordan Pridgeon, who has the luck edge for Gabriel Pryor, so he
I
will draw
will
4.
draw 3, but then I'll draw 1.
An extra. Hat, oh, fate. Hat, oh, fate. I don't know. Is that a thing? We don't have to do
It
that.
can be a thing.
Oh.
Ooh.
You're the
Is
marshal.
that? Oh, that's a blue and 2 whites? Okay.
blue and 2 white.
Blue and 2 white. Fishing around for the good ones.
I am. Haha. A blue and
Wow.
2 whites.
Blue and 2
Oh
white.
God,
Wait
that
a
means we're gonna get all the
minute.
red ones.
It's a popular,
Wait a
popular
second.
draw.
I can already tell Talene and I are going to be at
Hold on, let me
odds
do
with.
I feel like
don't
there's
look
a
at it.
rivalry brewing.
Trying not to. I got a red one.
All right.
Reds are still good.
Yeah, I know.
They're all good.
They all. Some just.
Some just
Suck
are
a
better.
little.
Blues are
3,
just better
4.
than everyone else.
I got a blue, 2 reds, and a white.
Nice.
All right.
I mean,
and
I guess
also
if you're
get a fate chip for each one of you guys here at the table.
There's only
Well.
3 of us tonight.
Yep.
Nope. You tried that last time.
Damn it.
I'm thankful that you went up 1 number from last time, but no, I got a blue, 2 whites, and a red. And reds are not bad for me, so that's essentially a blue.
Can we one more time go over the
Yeah.
color
Yeah.
function?
That's an excellent suggestion. Let's do that thing. White fate chips are the basic fate chips. So these you can use to reroll any trait or any trait roll, which is an attribute or a skill roll. You cannot use them to reroll damage rolls. Nothing can be used to reroll damage except for an as of yet unintroduced fate chip.
Whoa.
Oh.
BSB
care.
Thank you,
Donation.
BSB
care.
Wow.
The red ones can be used just like white fate chips.
Can we use white to soak?
Yes, I'm sorry. And white fate chips can also be used to soak wounds.
Okay.
Red ones can be used just like white fate chips, or you can use them to add a d6 to any roll that you make. But if you use a red fate chip in that way, I then get that fate chip after you're done.
Can we use it on damage?
No.
Okay.
Blue fate chips can be used just like red ones, but there is no drawback of having to go to me after you use it. So those are, you get free reign
Sweet.
to do that with those.
Okay.
So they just add a d6.
Yeah. Or you can use them as a white fate chip.
And then these we only use as rerolls. We can't
Only
use
as
to
rerolls.
soak.
Correct.
Okay.
One more thing that I should mention before we get started is there are unlockable reward tiers, which I believe we just got the first one. Thanks to you.
Ooh.
Any cash donation made tonight goes towards unlocking those reward tiers. So I will make a note of that. There is one at $25, $75, $150, and then there is a super far reach goal at $250. So you
Wow.
can check those out in the rewards thing. Last time you guys unlocked all of them, so they have a
That
special
was-
cool secret thing at the
That was
table.
nuts.
Okay, I think that's all of the bookkeeping.
Yeah.
Maybe we should saddle up. Let's saddle up. This time I remembered to not put my hat on until I said saddle up.
Oh. Is that like an official Savage Worlds rule?
It was gonna be, but now we're kind of ruining it because we're talking about it instead of like moving right into it. So
Oh.
hold on. No, it doesn't feel the same. I'll get it next time. I'll get it next time. So last time, posse members were en route to the town of Coldwater Creek, Colorado, where they had heard there was an opening for a preacher in town in this newly rich mining boomtown who had discovered a vein of ghost rock in their mine, which was too tempting a prospect for Gabriel Pryor, preacher conman, to turn down. So he and his team have made it into Coldwater Creek, but on the way into town, on the stagecoach ride in, they were beset by bandits, led by a man with a scarred face known as Johnny. The bandits attempted to rob the stagecoach, but these four proved to be way too much for the bandits to handle and sent them packing. At which case, they came into town with their reputation far preceding them. They met Prudence Clearwater. Or no, that's not her name. Hold on, Prudence Beecher, who was the person who had sent out for a new preacher. And they also met the marshal, who gave them the keys to the church. They made it into the saloon where a young hothead by the name of Boyd Parker challenged James Bogue to a gunfight in the streets, and Bogue humiliated him, and that's what he meant to do, not kill him, meant to humiliate him.
Absolutely.
Just rolled a low damage roll on purpose.
Yeah.
After that, the excitement had died down and they all headed back into the saloon, but the streets were soon again upset with noise and commotion outside as the Holbrook gang, the gang that they had humiliated earlier in the day, rode into town and demanded of the townspeople that the strangers be turned over to them, hogtied outside of town by noon the very next day, or else they would burn down the rest of the town as they then proceeded to burn down the schoolhouse. In the midst of all of that hubbub, random passers-by seemed to have been shot by an errant bullet from the Holbrook game, and they saw him disappear down an alleyway, seemingly injured. Forsaken!
Thank you, Forsaken.
For the donation.
Thanks, Forsaken.
Wow.
Thank you.
They heard a strange, wet noise and saw someone running screaming out of the alleyway. When they went to investigate, all they found was a pile of rotting meat and viscera. And Tortlaw was able to identify some strange, unusual tracks heading off into the night. And that's where we pick up, with the three of them by matchlight standing over a pile of rotted meat, viscera, gore, a pair of boots, and a hat. And Tortlaw standing looking off into the night at some strange tracks. In the background, you can hear the sounds of the town desperately working to bucket brigade and put out the fire that is going on back there. Or you would be able to hear them if there was any sound. Did this turn off automatically? It turned off automatically. You guys in chat can hear it, but we can't hear it at the table. There we go. And it appears, hold it, wait for it,
You gotta get it right.
right there.
There
There
you
we go. Technology. Wait,
There you go.
fire.
Ooh.
It's happening in the background. So that's where we pick up. Real quick, after all that, Civitrex would like to give 3 pieces of cursed Spanish gold to Talene because she's so fly.
I am so fly, and now I am ahead of Dom.
BSB Care would like to donate 2 Spanish gold to Meghan.
Woohoo!
I guess he felt she was lagging at the table.
Thanks, BSB Care.
1 Spanish gold for Jordan Pridgeon.
Yeah, keeping it even.
Noble TV, thank you for the follow.
Yes, thank you.
Goblet V, that makes more sense.
Goblet V, yeah.
Goblet.
I went with Gobble TV too.
And
Gobble.
a draw from the adventure deck for Talene.
Oh, snap,
oh.
That means you
no!
get to-
So that's
you
it
have
for
to choose.
Talene. That's it. So Talene has to choose. She's going to draw from the deck. She has a card carried over from last time. She's going to choose which one of these she wants to hang on to.
All right. It's all good.
Getting real in there. Get in there.
We only have one shot at this. It's all or nothing, gang. Friendly characters, including your hero, add +2 to all trait rolls for the rest of this round.
Wow. Wow.
That's better than this.
That.
You giving up the ace?
I'm giving up the ace.
All right. Good call. Good call.
Nice.
All right.
All party members.
Oh,
Yep.
and because it kind of got lost in because we were telling the story. Also, thank you very much, Forsaken, for $60.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
And,
I-
James
And
V.
James
James
V, thank
V.
you for the
James V.
donation.
Just rolled in with $35.
Thank you, guys.
So I believe that we have now unlocked at least the second reward tier, but we'll do some behind-the-scenes bookkeeping and see where we are. So thank you guys. You guys we've barely even started. On that note, let's start. You guys are in the alley.
Friends, I think this town may be a little more than we were counting on.
I know. Thank God. It finally got interesting. Ugh.
And I can do without the smell.
Well,
This
honestly, I'm starting to believe that maybe they need a real preacher, and you know, there's a lot of other towns out there who are ripe for the picking, and suddenly we're the most wanted people in town. Before we get hogtied, perhaps we should hoof it in the middle of the night.
Well,
I'm not going to leave this town with the Holbrook gang running rampant. They've got them ransomed here. We can't just let them run wild in this town like they own it. We got to stop them somehow.
even if it kills us?
I'll take it.
I mean, there are some interesting things here in town, but I hear what you're saying, Gabe. It might be good to get out now.
Well, Think about it. A town that's full of fear is a town that's ready to embrace spiritual guidance, and we could use that to our advantage.
That's true.
Tort, you seem much less surprised by this than the rest of us.
Surprised?
Well-
No, come on.
There's a
Intrigued.
horrible husk of a bubbling human remain sitting in front of us.
It is quite gross, but I would like to know how it happened.
A big, hairy, scary beastie came down here and it ate him up. Pretty cool, actually. I'm really excited to
Are you
find it.
serious? How do you know that? What sort of
I looked
beast?
back into the past and I saw it happen.
You really? Could you draw a picture of this beast?
I could. I'm not going to, but I could.
You wouldn't, even for me.
Nope, definitely not.
Really, Tortla?
Well, I think maybe we should head back to the church for the night.
You're right.
There's been a lot going on, and we might need to be dealing with an angry mob if they decide that the offer from the gang is better than getting on the bad side of the Lord.
Maybe we should make them a better offer.
I like the way you think.
Yeah?
Maybe we should tie each other up.
I don't like that idea.
Yeah, I have to admit, it's not ringing my bell either.
Unorthodox, I don't know.
Littlest
Littlest finger.
Thank you for the
Thank
sub.
you.
Be
Yeah.
sure to let them know in chat which player you want to get the reroll token that you get for subbing.
And it's good to see you again, Littlest Finger.
Well, think of it this way. All these people, they'll think you're sacrificing yourself. And if we tie ourselves up, then we can get out of the tying up.
Now, hold
Whereas
on.
if other people tie us up,
Hold on here. This isn't actually a half bad idea. We could use Gabriel as bait.
let's
done.
tie Gabriel up and put him outside of town.
Now hear me
And
out.
just wait and see what happens.
Wait.
Now hear me out, preacher. I'm not going to let you die.
I might.
But if
He won't.
Well, that's
Sorry,
very
Bob.
confident.
but if you make it out of this, which you will,
If there's anyone who can talk themselves out of being a hog-tied bad gang, I think it's me.
you would basically have this entire town at your fingertips.
But couldn't we do that without having to tie him up?
Everyone make a
Same
notice
thing.
roll for me.
Notice.
Notice.
That's a D8. Wait, that's not a D8 right there. Oh. Okay, 6.
Wait.
Ooh, the dice tray.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What is that, 10?
Bandana Man, thank you for the donation.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bandana Man.
Bandana Man.
I'm going to get to those donations in 1 second, guys.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, ace.
Nice.
It's 11.
Okay.
We're all very aware right now.
We are.
Well, we did. There was a monster.
Did you want these, Dom? Is that what you want?
Okay, so you got a 10, you got an 11, you were the highest?
I thought somebody was. Oh.
I
You
had
got
10.
a 10.
10.
I got a 6.
Oh.
But
You
you
were the
got
highest.
11.
I got
You
11.
got
Okay,
the
so
So good at
Torla, as
seeing
you guys are
things.
talking, you notice that the light from the flame seems to have died down, and that the tone of the crowd has quieted as well, but seems to be swelling again in a much more angry manner.
Oh, good, an angry mob.
I'm willing to
All right.
bet that the decision
Which-
about who ties you up is about to be made.
Which sounds very similar to what they were doing before when they were putting out the fire, but
But I feel
it's different. It's different in tone.
Yeah.
And while we're stopped, guys, everyone raise your glasses. This toast is from DJ Regular. The memory of Belle Star. The memory of Belle Star. Set him up, knock him down. Now, DJ Regular, I believe, is having us toast to famous Western personalities of real life and screen. I've yet to get one of these references, but kudos to DJ Regular and anyone else in chat who knows them. Also, Forsaken has donated for a draw for Megan and Dom.
Ooh.
Oh,
Nice.
All right.
That's a Megan and a Dom draw.
we're gonna have
So
to pick.
let's see, you already have a card. You
I
both
have a
already
card.
have a card.
Yeah.
But you drew first last time, so Megan, let's have you draw.
I've got this one, obviously.
All three of those?
Come on.
All three of them.
What you got?
Deadly Blow. Play after damage is rolled to double the total of successful melee attack. But I also have Dead Man's Hand, which when I can play this when any character is dealt a poker hand for any reason. and that hand becomes 2 pair.
That's a right conundrum.
That is.
Ooh.
The poker hand seems like a real good fit for you.
Right, it does.
But only if you're going to use your poker.
I'm gonna
hands
eventually, but
to-
even
But it could help me too.
right, exactly. It can help him if he gets into a duel.
That's
I
true.
don't know. I think I'm gonna
Or if
stick
anyone
with
wants
what
to
I got.
gamble,
Well, that'll definitely happen at some point.
you're going to stick with the one you got?
Tartla here. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the one.
All right, she's going to dance with the girl she came with. Thank you, Forsaken.
Thank you.
But I'm going to put it back into the deck here, which
Ooh,
means
oh
that you
dear.
could potentially draw it, which wouldn't be the worst thing to happen to you, James Bogue. You're giving Megan the vapors just thinking
are.
about it.
No.
Take a good one, Don.
It must be the pipe. It's a real wood pipe, you guys. It's made out of real wood.
Real wood pipe. Real looking wood. Real wood. Looking.
Real wood colored pipe. What you got? That was the chair.
Spurred on. Ride hard, and we should make it by sundown. The character's travel distance is doubled for a day, or one character gains double pace for 1 round.
All right.
Or, I know a guy who can help us.
Huh. Huh. I don't know.
Well, it could be useful right now to have someone
That's
who could
true.
maybe tie fake knots.
Yeah, right.
Because we kind of have to turn ourselves in or
We're talking.
Run.
I think I think
Bob
having
down.
having a contact is going to be better for
Yeah,
us in the long
sure.
run.
All right.
Okay.
It was an excellent choice that Forsaken gave to you as well.
Yes.
But you were also dancing with the girl you came with. I respect that. All right.
All right.
Also,
Everyone came with
from this
girls.
point on, everyone came with girls, because that's how the saying goes.
Mm.
Everyone who donates for a toast from this point on is donating with cash,
Ooh.
which is what this next person did. This was from
Whoa.
James V.
All right.
This one was $5. The next one's 10. To Megan's new tattoo, Yeehaw, Gallifrey, and text.
To
Megan's new tattoo, Yeehaw, Gallifrey, and text.
Set him up, knock him down.
Thank you. I like that one.
But that's not all.
Oh.
James V has also donated for an adventure draw for Jordan.
Hooray!
So he does not feel
He doesn't
left
even
out.
have a girl that he brung.
Not yet.
I came stag.
But after this, you'll have a girl you brung.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I picked someone up.
Right, Paul?
I got teamwork. On my mark, your hero and any adjacent allies add +4 to their next trait rolls. The allies must be adjacent when the card is played to receive the bonus.
That is a pretty good one.
That's
That
great,
is a good
especially if
bonus,
we like
huh?
set it up, and I think we
Yeah.
could very well do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
At
Thank
this
you.
point, all draws have been redeemed. Thank
Okay.
you guys very much. And we have definitely unlocked the second cumulative goal, which I will not reveal the title of, but you guys know what it is.
What is it, chat?
Don't tell him.
Tell us. Tell us.
Don't tell him. Please.
Someone give money in a name that is the answer.
Don't do that.
Then we'll see.
Come on, guys. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Change your name to the answer.
Change your name to the answer.
There you go.
You can do that once every how often or something like that.
I don't know, like
3 minutes?
You know, you can change, and within Streamlabs, I just want to make it clear, because within Streamlabs, you can change your name to anything you want it to be with no penalty. But if you want to change your actual screen, your Twitch screen name, that's where you run into trouble. You can do that once every 90 days, I believe.
So don't do that. Don't do that.
You can contact us by phone at 1-800-TORT-LAW.
yes.
Operators are
Also,
standing by.
If you need
We're here to
sue
defend you.
someone who you've hit in an accident with,
Specifically pastry related, right?
Oh crap, you guys. I didn't scroll down.
never an accident when it's pastry related.
Everyone,
Yeah.
raise your glasses.
Oh.
We got a toast from Bandana Man.
Man.
Uh-oh.
And this toast says Boomer. And we will say Boomer, and
Okay.
we will respond sooner.
Yes, we
so
will.
here we go.
Boomer!
Sooner! Set him up, knock him down. That is a OU reference.
Hey, you'll appreciate this. I have
oh, God.
an OU
She did.
blanket.
We went to college.
Anyway, that was fun. Okay.
Thank you, Bandana Man. He has also donated for a.
These shares are hard.
I didn't read the whole thing.
What? Did you miss it?
I was supposed to see if any of you successfully replied.
Ah,
I
sorry.
jumped the gun on
I
that
would
one.
I
have.
wouldn't have.
You wouldn't have.
I would not
I'm
have.
would've
sure
been
no
the
one would have.
only
That was
one.
where I was heading. I saw the blank looks on their faces. So, Megan, you get a reroll.
Okay, thank you.
Jordan gets a reroll. This Jordan?
Well,
'Cause I
because
can't
no
get
one
these.
replied.
What's up?
Because no one replied. I assume he means that, Jordan.
Okay, so you get a reroll.
All right.
Oh yeah, because no one else replied. I see. Yes, it goes to Jordan.
You and Megan get one, and then this Jordan gets
Gotcha. We have now unlocked the third tier reward. So thank you guys so much.
Wow.
And Sci-Fi T-Rex would like his reroll for resubscribing to go to Tulane.
Sci-Fi
Of
T-Rex and I
course.
are in cahoots.
We are now
We see
caught up
that.
with my screen.
Well, we've hit our quota for tonight, so let's
go home.
Turn the lights off. Let's shut it down. So you guys are in the midst of discussing all of this.
Now listen. They're out there right now. They're coming. I have rope.
And
Damn it.
someone peeks down the alleyway and goes, Marshall, here they are.
Here's
Here they are.
You don't think we can talk our way out?
Here's
of
what's
this?
gonna happen.
right.
Listen. I'll tie you up.
Wait.
I will transform myself into a townsperson. They'll never know. And then I'll be like, hey, fellow townspeople, I've tied him up. It's all cool. I'm taking him to the edge of town.
Let me volunteer myself first. Because as long as I come willingly, if they have to force me, I'll lose all my credibility.
That's
in this
true.
town, and that's all I have.
That's
You hear
true.
Marshall Hurless's booming voice from out in the middle of town go, oh, all right, you strangers, you can come on out now.
Marshall, there's no need
Are you
to
guys
worry yourselves.
walking out of the alleyway?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold
no
on.
need to worry yourselves.
Hold on.
Wait,
God.
what's going on? You can't do this on Twitch.
Wait for it.
You can't show Sheriff Badges.
Whoa!
Oh,
It's not a nipple. Marshall Hurless is standing on the front porch of the marshal's office, and there is an angry crowd of townspeople. Some of them have torches, not all of them.
Do some have pitchforks?
No, not yet. It's a mining town.
Okay.
So one pickaxe among,
Pickaxe.
The, among the group.
Yeah.
Good.
They are all standing in front, and they seem to be complaining loudly to him. But at the appearance of you guys from outside of the alleyway, or just you're the only one that walked out?
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to follow me,
I
you
would
can.
follow him.
Okay.
Yes.
They draw quiet and look at you expectantly and flit back and forth between you and the marshal.
Friends, I'm new to this town, and I have come to bring God, but the forces of the devil, why, they make demands of me as well.
Bless you.
And I cannot put all of you in danger to save only myself. Now, I simply must put my trust in the Lord and know that He will protect me. And so I go willingly to these men who have asked for our submission.
But they asked for all of you. You all need to be hogtied and put outside of town. Someone shouts out from the crowd.
Well, if that's what you really want, I guess that's what we have to do. We have to follow the preacher here, right?
Oh, no. I'm out the other end
You're
of
not
the
there?
alley. Bye.
Okay, all right, so you didn't come out.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I can speak only for myself.
Now hold on there, the marshal pipes up. Now listen. The terms that the Holbrook gang set forth were very clear. They wanted the four of you who had created trouble with them to be hogtied and put outside of town by noon tomorrow, or else they're gonna burn this here town to the ground. So, unless I see all four of you, we're gonna have some trouble. Now here's what we're doing. This is going to be a social conflict. This is a type of combat in Savage Worlds that is all handled socially. So we're going to have 3 rounds here. You guys are going to designate a primary speaker. And each round, Meghan is making a face at me because she is confusing a social conflict with a dramatic task,
all right, you're
which
right.
in our home game led to the death of a small child, despite the
Moses,
fact that they
so
tried their
upset
best to save her. Different thing. Don't worry about that. Those will be later. This is a social conflict. So everyone is going to get a chance to present an argument. So you're going up against directly the marshal. I assume you guys are going to nominate Talkie character, but you don't have to. Each one of you is also going to get the chance to make a cooperative roll to aid his roll any round if you would like to. And it's going to either have to be a skill like persuasion if you are trained in it, or something that goes along with his argument. So if he says something that might require one of you to be or intimidating or to look tough, an intimidation roll would be acceptable. Anything like that. Anything you can think of, you're allowed to make a cooperative roll to aid his roll. At the end of the social conflict, whoever has the most successes, either the marshal or you guys, will have won the argument and swayed people to your side, depending on how good of a job you did. Now, that's assuming you guys want to do this. If your plan is actually to just submit and be tied up outside of town, you can do that as well. Just throwing that out there.
I think we should try to talk our way out of it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like we made them an offer and they didn't want to go with that. They didn't want to compromise. So let's talk them out of it. No, my question here is: are like persuade rolls and stuff going to be used?
This
in
is going to be persuade rolls.
Then can I discreetly pop open my vial of vocal unction?
I see no reason that you could not use your vocal unction elixir for this. And remember, my offer from last session still stands.
If I can-
There are 2 different flavors that make up the vocal unction elixir, and if you can successfully identify both of those flavors, I will give you a free fate chip.
Pardon me, I'm parched and I have something important to say to all of you.
Everyone seems totally cool with that.
Are
You
you
don't
gonna
have to chug it.
Chug
Oh
the
God.
whole thing.
Oh God.
How are you
It's
gonna know the
carbonated.
flavors?
He's
Your
really,
palate.
really parched.
Wow.
I can't do that. First of all, how was it?
It was pretty good.
Well, okay, cool. I was kind of thinking it might be.
He's only had like
Wow, I
one
can
taste
smell
of
it.
it, so
Now
this is
there's-
going to be an
good.
interesting
Now
way
there's
to-
2 flavors in there, and this is a question not for Gabriel Pryor, but for Jordan Pridgeon here at the table. What 2 flavors did you
Ooh.
taste in this custom-made soda
That was a
that
lot
I
of vocal
created for
unction.
you? That was a lot of vocal unction. That's $50 of elixir down your throat right there, man.
It is. They're expensive elixirs. It was very sweet.
Yeah, it was.
It's hard to say. It was like a cotton candy type taste.
Cotton candy is one of the flavors
Wow.
in that
Fucking
soda.
way.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
fucking
Oh, I was
way.
like, I'm wasting this guess, but it tasted like cotton candy.
What was the second flavor in
I
that
can
soda?
Smell the soda.
The second flavor in that soda.
Was it like a cream soda type thing?
Say
Is your
final
second
thing.
guess cream soda?
Um,
Whoa, I can smell it now.
Right?
Here,
It's
I will
strong,
say,
pretty strong.
give it a whiff. Give the bottle
Yeah.
a whiff.
I can smell the other flavor. Yeah.
Kind of further away. Let it disperse
Apparently
a
it's
bit.
all the way over here.
Yeah,
now.
it's.
Problem is, I can't smell anything. I have
Oh, you
all
had a lot of
this in my
soda.
system.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I can smell it now. Everyone in this room can probably, except for Tulane, who's nose is stuffed
I
up, she
can't.
probably can't smell it. And Dom is smoking a pipe.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just burped. I hope that isn't real.
Oh, right into the
I
mouth.
hope that isn't real. Oh, it-
Oh, that was a fake burp.
definitely real. It
Fingers
happened.
crossed.
And you're not wearing pants.
It smells so distinct, but I can't nail it down.
What is your second guess?
Okay, well, try and smell.
Can I make a smelling motion near it and accomplish nothing?
Mmm.
I can't
What's
even
the
breathe
inside of
through
your
my
nose
nose.
smell like, Tulane?
I'm like,
It's booger. It's booger.
It is not booger. Don't
Grass.
listen to Dom. He's a bad influence.
smells like grass.
Let me smell it again.
All right, one more time, and then we gotta move on. Gaurav has successfully identified the
He
second flavor
has.
in that, and he didn't even taste the soda.
No.
I'll go with the color and say blueberry.
That is incorrect.
What was it?
The 2 flavors in the vocal unction elixir were cotton candy and cucumber.
Cucumber.
And cucumber is the smell that is now
Yes.
permeating this room.
Yes.
Is
it
it?
is.
There is so much cucumber
I
smell in
can, I
here.
can
Smell
see
it when I
that now,
brought it
but
up to my
cucumber
nose,
is,
but-
is such a
It's like a
Oh,
nice
like-
watery.
nice, even, low key.
It is.
thing.
Was it actually okay though?
Oh, it was great.
Good.
Oh, wow.
Good. I wasn't
Very
trying to make it
tasty.
gross. I just wanted to make it unusual.
No, it was very, very tasty.
Good.
Actually.
All right. So
Alright.
tell the folks at home and everyone here at the table what swallowing this bottle of vocal unction
So-
elixir does for Gabriel Pryor.
A vocal unction, which is a like a mad science.
It is. There
item.
are certain mad scientists who have delved into alchemy instead of gadgetry, and they can create potions, elixirs, and unctions.
It is $50 a dose,
Yes,
as
it
he
is.
said, and the soothing throat syrup tightens or relaxes the vocal cords, bringing them to the perfect pitch for pleasing speech. It's a favorite among singers and thespians who rely on their vocal talents for their livelihoods, as well as politicians who like the sound of their own voices to begin with. Upon imbibing this elixir, the drinker gains +2 charisma for the next hour. Malfunction: if the user rolls a 1 on his persuasion skill die while benefiting from the effects of this elixir, regardless of the results of any wild die, his voice becomes hard and hoarse for the next 24 hours instead, giving him charisma -2.
So don't roll a 1,
So
basically.
that's like any one at all.
It's if you roll a 1 on your persuasion die,
On the
regardless of
regular
what you
die.
roll on your wild die.
Got
If
it.
you critically fail this, I'm gonna probably just freeform something even worse than
That'd
that.
be fun. So I already have 2 charisma because I'm a charismatic motherfucker. But now I have 4 charisma until I fail, and that makes my persuasion skills quite
Very high.
Quite
Very
good.
high. So, the Marshal is going to begin this round. And Marshal Hurlis, though you guys have not yet interacted with him very much, he's a wild card. He's a man of some importance in the town, so he will also be rolling with a wild die when he makes these rolls. He says, now,
Ooh.
XX Lens!
Thank
XX!
Thank
Thanks for the
you.
sub.
Or
And
kiss kiss lens, kiss kiss.
Yeah,
that could be it. Thank you for the sub. Be sure to let them know who you want to get your free reroll at the table. Any one of these players, not me though, I don't count. He says, now friends,
He'll get it eventually.
He will.
Yeah.
all of you citizens of Coldwater Creek, truly, the Holbrook gang have been a thorn in our side, but really at this point, they're mostly bullies. Sure, they rob our stagecoaches on the way into town from time to time, and sure, sometimes it gives folks a bad impression coming into Coldwater Creek, but never before have they stooped to this level of violence. And I will say that that is because these newcomers have upset the order of things here in Coldwater Creek. They have poked the hornet's nest, as it were, and are bringing down a lot of heat. And that is something that this town does not need. He's going to make his roll.
Forsaken.
Forsaken,
Yes.
thank you for the donation. So if, depending on what your argument is, you can get a positive modifier to this roll or a negative modifier if you say something that is provably untrue or something that is upsetting to the crowd. So bear that in mind. It doesn't matter what you say. All right. He has a 5, and I'm not going to give him a bonus for that. That's a pretty straightforward argument. So you are rolling to beat a 5 here. What is your response to that? Now, after you do that, I'll let one of these guys make a cooperative roll if they feel like they can.
People of Coldwater, I come here from the east, and the way they speak about the west, where I'm from, they talk about you as though you are savages. You are godless and you are lawless, and I know that to not be true. I came out here because I knew that God was in every single one of you, and I am simply here to be a conduit. But if you treat people who come into your town seeking your hospitality and wishing to better your life like that, why, you're proving them right. Now, aren't you better than to be bullied and beaten by men with guns on horses wearing masks? We together have God on our side, and we are stronger than they could ever be with all the guns in the West.
Appealing to their religious virtue. I'll give you a +1 for that, because though these
handle that.
people want to be good, it has been quite a while since they've had a preacher, so some of them have fallen off a little bit of the church-going audience. This might not sway all of them quite as much, but I'd say that's a pretty good one. So
Fair
go ahead
enough.
and make your roll, but before you do, would any of you, are you still back in the alleyway, or are you kind of like peeking your head out at
Nope.
this point? All right, you're back there. Would either of you like to add anything to this to try and cooperate with him?
I'll
Now,
add to it.
if you have, you can only do a cooperative persuasion roll if you are trained in persuasion. If not, you'll have to use another skill that you think you could bring to bear to cooperate. So are you going to cede this one to Rosaline, or do you see anything you can do here?
I could use intimidation to.
Maybe you could use intimidation, like, to
I could just be like,
to embolden a little more. I don't know if that.
yeah, basically go. Oh, this guy. Okay, if this guy's such a badass and he's backing the preacher, then we might have a shot at it.
Maybe I mean take the angle that we did take out like
Right.
8
That's
of them.
exactly what I was going to say. We already took care of.
While we're discussing this, XX Lens XX or Kiss Kiss Lens X Kiss Kiss would like to donate this re-roll for his resubscribing or subscribing to the table.
Nice.
That's for everybody.
Thank you very much.
Also,
you.
Forsaken has made a donation, as you saw. He donated $15 for me to do with as I please, because that $15 hit our monthly goal for the month. We have hit our $1,500 goal for the month. Thank you very much, Forsaken, and everyone else who has donated. We really appreciate that, guys. It keeps the lights on and
Wonderful.
allows us to nicen things up and continue to put on new games and shows for you guys. So thank you very much for that.
You guys just
So,
want to see me cry.
$15, that's enough for a fistful of cursed Spanish gold. So I think I will throw that onto the table, because I don't know that you guys have enough re-rolls at this
That's
point.
a really good
Really?
point.
Thank you.
Talene literally has poker stacks of coins in front of her right now.
Poker
I don't know if we
stack.
can see that.
Yes.
You can't read her poker stacks. So are we going with a cooperative persuasion roll or a cooperative
You
intimidation
can only go
roll?
with one though, right? You can only
You
go
only go-
either
Yeah.
either persuasion.
Can we
or
Right now.
discuss what, like he just said what he was going to do. Can I say what I was thinking?
Because this is the first time we are doing a social conflict, I will allow that. But in the future, those discussions will be seen as being made in front of
Right.
people
Gotcha.
who
Yeah.
are trying to.
That makes sense. Table talk.
So
Yeah.
we could say like I could do intimidation and she could say I could do persuasion and we go, all right.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
we'll just decide that
Yeah,
way in the future.
but so you're wanting to intimidate and add to it
Yeah.
the fact that you guys took out some of Holbrook's gang.
Yeah.
You were wanting.
Well, what Rosaline would do is pull at the town's heartstrings and start crying and not understand why we came all this way, that they would just turn this preacher out
Yeah.
like
You could be
this.
like, you said they were good people.
Both of those sound.
What's your intimidation? What's your intimidation die?
Okay,
I've
now
got-
we're metagaming, but that's totally
I'm
cool.
sorry.
It's cool. We're learning the game
Then
system.
never mind.
No, it's fine.
I have a D8.
And you have a D8 in persuasion.
I have a D6.
D6 in persuasion.
But
Alright.
that doesn't mean we have to go that way. I'm sorry that I metagame showing you.
I'm kidding.
It's good to know. It's good to know. We would have done this anyway.
All right, so what are we going with? Torlaw, what do you
I
think?
feel like that makes more sense than this.
All right.
I kind of agree too.
I might also agree with that. In fact, I might go so far as to say that at this point, intimidation might be the absolute wrong thing to say in this situation.
Okay.
And might end up, just as a for example, getting you a negative modifier in the next round.
We're trying to get sympathy. Like that's kind of the direction we went with their guilt and sympathy and stuff. So okay, do
So
I roll a persuasion?
She is going to make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
For every success and raise that she gets, she's going to add +1 to your roll total.
Got it.
So go ahead and make your roll, Rosalie.
Okay. That's a 6.
Nice.
Nice.
So 9.
A 9? Okay, so 4 is a
That's
success and 8 is a
fantastic.
raise. So you're going to add +2 to his roll.
Wow.
Okay.
top
so
On top
Four.
of his +2 for his charisma, his +2 for being a snake oil salesman to your persuasion roll.
so I get +2 for charisma.
Mhm.
I get +2. So it says +2 for non-combat persuasion rolls.
This is a non-combat persuasion roll.
All right. In that case, I get +8
Okay.
to my persuasion.
You
roll.
are making your roll with a +8.
I wonder if you'll win.
Is that like
I'm
an
pretty
automatic raise?
persuasive.
This vocal unction elixir is pretty great.
If I roll a 1, it all goes
That's
to
true.
hell.
Oh my god.
He
Shouldn't
rolled a
have
one,
said it.
guys.
My god.
That's what but
these are
wait,
for.
hold on. He has so many pieces of cursed Spanish gold.
Ow.
It's real.
It's real cursed.
It's
so you
real
gonna turn that in?
It's a
There you
real
go,
curse.
buddy.
All right, I'm gonna put this in my pile right here.
In Wildcards, we can re-roll ones.
You can re-roll once. That is an in-game mechanic for Savage
Yes.
Worlds, so we are sticking with that.
There you go.
Okay, that's a 4 and that's a 5.
So a 5 plus 8.
5 plus 8,
Which is a 13.
It's only 13.
Yeah.
It's only 13.
So, oh, and remember, we added a +1 for you appealing to their religious
Oh,
virtue.
You're
yeah.
right.
So that's actually a 14. So that is a success
It's a double raise?
with 2 raises.
So,
So,
close to 3
At this
raises.
point, you have 3 raises, or I'm sorry, 3 successes, because it was a success with 2 raises. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. And the marshal rolled a 5, I believe, which was 1 success. So the current score at this point in the social conflict is Marshal Hurless 1, Posse 3.
Ooh.
The crowd kind of murmurs their agreement with that, and they also definitely seem to be, their heartstrings do seem to be duly tugged
She's still crying soft.
by your womanly crying.
Pulls out a Kleenex or a
Yeah.
handkerchief, I
Hanky,
suppose.
lace hanky.
This
Never been used on a human nose.
this
You dab at your
stereotypical female in peril behavior is really affecting the simple-minded folk of Coldwater Creek. But the marshal sees what's happening here, and he says, all this high-minded talk of religion and turning the other cheek and following the way of the Lord is a very important virtue and something that this town was founded on. However, we all know, as people who have tried to make our lives and our futures out here in the frontier, that the realities of life in this area don't always allow for the perfect ideology that the new preacher is espousing. I will say, all of this sounds mighty convenient coming from someone who, along with his associates, gunned down several members of the Holbrook gang outside of town. Now, it's one thing to preach peace and the Spirit of the Lord, and quite another thing to draw iron and shoot a man right in front of the women and children who were on that stagecoach, newly arrived to Coldwater Creek. So I will say, is this the kind of preacher that you all want to stand behind? And a bunch of people seem, oh, I hadn't really thought about it like that. No, Marshall makes a good point. That's true. So that's the Marshall's roll. And I'm going to give him a +2 to that roll.
All right.
Because, totally unbiased,
We
I think
shot
he made a
people.
pretty good argument. It's fine. No, just give him this.
We'll tear it down.
A +8 to the roll. It's not going to matter. He got a 3 and a 4. That's a success. But you know what? I think I should probably use this cursed piece of Spanish gold.
Go for it.
Because I think Marshall Hurless might be able to do a little bit better than this.
I don't think so.
We got a 5 and a 1. But let's see. He is a wild card. I did say that, right?
Yep.
And I do get 2 fate chips for each of the wild cards
Oh my
that I pull
God.
into the game. So that is 2 whites right there. I'm gonna spend a red fate chip. I'm gonna add a d6 to his 5 there,
My hand smells like vocal unction.
Cucumber?
which smells a lot like cucumber. So where am I?
Now
at?
that you've pointed it out.
Right.
All right, so he had a
I still
5
smell nothing.
plus another 5. So that's a 10 plus a 2 for 12. So that is a success with 2 raises. The town is the townsfolk seem, I might, disturbed by this point of view that the marshal has espoused here. And it seems like maybe the tide is beginning to turn a little bit away from the posse. So Gabriel, how would you respond?
Marshal, you speak of reality and you underplay the power of God. Well, I'm a man of reality too, because God is in reality all around us. And I know that sometimes, though I would love peace to be the only way, a man cannot live out in the West without a gun to keep himself safe, as is guaranteed by the rights of man. But you speak of reality as though it is this simple idea. And I know that for most people the reality is that when you are shot with a bullet, your blood bleeds out and you die. Well, I have some reality to show you. And I pull out my Bible that has a bullet in it and I go, this bullet came from me. And God saw fit to stop that bullet with his own word. Now, if that's not reality, well, by God's name, I don't want to be part of reality.
Now, those of you who tuned in for last session will remember that Gabriel Pryor at one point threw his Bible to intercept a bullet that was going to most likely murder Tortlaw. He used an adventure card to do that because otherwise that would not be something he would be able to do.
She was going to get super murdered.
But because he had that draw from You Find Mysterious Strangers in Chat, he was able to intercept that, and word of that event has already spread like wildfire through town. So I'm definitely going to give you a +2 bonus for capitalizing on that. Now, would you like to add anything to this roll?
I think intimidation fits way better here.
Just to totally kind of, meta game a little bit.
No.
Since this is our first social conflict and all. Intimidation does strike me as one that would be able to be worked into this one pretty deftly.
So,
Or you could choose not to.
So would you say in these social conflicts, the first one, intimidation would not have gone well? I mean, obviously we were metagaming and we were talking about
Sure.
it more, but so it will change through kind of each round of the social
Because of what he
conflict?
said.
Because
Yeah.
of what
Because
he
of
said.
what he says.
And also because the
Marshal's strategy of attack shifted, and we kind of went on more of a...
yeah, and that would have actually supported the marshal's point if you had intimidated last round.
Right.
So I think playing the wounded, like, oh no, I thought these were good people. Yeah. The way I'm going to play it is it's going to be contingent upon the flow of the argument and the points being made. So if that makes sense to you guys, that's the way that we're going to try and do some social conflicts.
I'd back him up with some intimidating talk.
Okay. What might James Bogue say to add to that? Or do. He doesn't have to say anything because he's James fucking Bogue.
Yeah. He doesn't like the fucking though.
He's James F. Bogue.
Yeah.
You don't need to
The
swear.
F
Yeah.
stands for.
I don't need swearing to get by.
And real quick, this is Littlest Fingers reroll for his resub, and he's going to give it to Please Don't Interrupt the Other Player's Dom. And I don't know if that is kudos for you not interrupting the other players or admonition for interrupting the other players,
Yeah.
because I haven't honestly noticed that behavior in either direction. So Dom, you choose whether you are being praised or shunned
I will
by
take
Littlest
it,
Finger.
I will take it away internally.
I'm confused by the comment.
All right.
But thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Littlest Finger.
Much obliged.
He
much
doesn't get it.
obliged.
The rest of us get it. Dom doesn't get it.
Bogue was in the shadows, out of the torchlight a little bit.
Okay.
And again, you see the embers of his pipe somewhat glow, and then he kind of steps out. You just kind
You
of
hear one woman go,
yeah. You just hear a little chink, and he's just kind of like puts the gun in his holster, and he just kind of like eyes everyone, and just like piercing blue eyes.
can you eye him that way so that
Yeah.
they can see those piercing blues?
So he's just staring at every person, and just like the kind of eyes that just sort of go into your soul and kind of make you kind of just go like, oh,
Which one
Right.
man does.
which one man does.
For some reason, I feel like I'm in trouble with him.
And then I just put my hand on the preacher's shoulder, and I'll say, I've seen a lot of stuff. I've been around most of this country, and I've seen men do terrible things. I don't want this town to feel like they're under any more pressure. And Gabriel here can make that happen for you. He's here to help you. And I'm here to help him.
Make your intimidation roll.
Okay.
Remember, for every success and raise you get, you're going to be adding +1.
All right. Yep, that's a 4.
That's a success. So that is a +1 to your roll, in addition to your +2
My
for your
natural-
winning argument.
Yeah, +2 for winning the argument.
Yep.
+2 for my normal charisma. Plus
Yep.
2 more for my my vocal unction.
That is
and
correct.
+2 more for my snake oil salesman, which is a total of +8 automatically.
Again? Yeah. Or is it, no,
It should
hold on,
be-
there's a 3, right? Because you got +1, +2,
Right.
Okay,
+2.
I'm charismatic.
I think it's 9. I think it's +9.
Okay.
Wow.
I think it's 9.
Wow.
Yeah, great. I have a +9.
+9. And I got
Alright.
flack for using a fate
This is very
chip for that.
confusing. All right, that is a 7. That is a 7 plus 9.
So that is
that's
a 16. That's a success with 3 raises.
Hurrah!
So at the end of round 2 of the social conflict, the score is Marshall Hurless, 4. The posse, 7.
And there's just like little old ladies in the crowd who are like, that man has a nice voice. I like that voice.
Something about his tenor is just very pleasing to
I
me.
cannot wait for Sunday
That's
to
gonna
come.
be
I am
one
not
heck
very
of a sermon.
religious, but I would listen to that sermon.
Wait, a little old lady is not very religious?
She's not.
Not that
Nope.
one.
Nope.
She's seen too much in
She
this
was a
life.
firebrand in her youth, but she's considering seeing the light
You know,
because that man has a lovely voice.
Her friend is like, Imogene, you really should not say things like that about the Lord.
Oh, hush up! I'm trying to listen. Marshall Hurless kind of quiets the crowd who have begun to murmur and kind of like agree with each other and you know, vocally and physically so that all of you can see like, yeah, this guy's making a lot of sense. All right. Now that's a fair point, preacher and associate. Those are some mighty fine words. And I do believe that you are correct in saying that your words can be backed up by your actions. We've all heard the stories. Not many eyewitness accounts, but stories do abound, I will give you that. But my proposal is instead of trying to make our stand here against the Holbrooks, who I will remind you at this point have not been much more than a nuisance, if you are all so suddenly worried about this scourge on our town, give me the time to send for aid. I can contact, we've not yet declared for either the Confederate States or the United States. So I can contact the Army, I can contact the sheriff, heck, I can contact the Texas Rangers or the Marshals. And if it's a problem that you think needs to be handled, why, I can have them here in a matter of weeks to take care of this. All we have to do to bide our time and do this the right way without calling down any more undue attention or violence on our small town is to offer up these 4 outside of town. Now, I understand that may sound harsh, but we know the Holbrooks are not much for violence, and I do not believe that they have much intent to do bodily harm. Yes, perhaps they may humiliate these 4. And that would be unfortunate to see, a man of the cloth being humiliated, his fine associates being made to walk out of town without the very boots on their feet, we'll say, as just a random example of something that might humiliate someone. But I think that's a small price to pay to maintain our way of life and keep things from erupting into further violence and bloodshed. Now, I will say, probably not the strongest argument from him at that point, so I'm just going to have him make his roll normally.
I think you should get a -1.
I don't think so. I think that's probably a bit extreme.
You got a 4.
He gets...
Ooh.
Bandana
Bandana
Man!
Man.
Thank you for the donation. He's going to spend 1 fate chip to re-roll that.
Now he's out of fate chips.
He is. He's out of fate chips, but I still have 4 more that I can use at my discretion. Lommeled the crap out of that one. Did you guys see that?
Lommel it.
Classic Lommel. Oh, it's worse.
It's worse.
So I get to keep you get to keep the best, so I will keep my 4. So he is ending with 1 success for that round. A few people, see some validity to what he's saying, but many of them seem kind of uncertain about whether or not that's the best course of action. So Gabriel, what would your response be to this? And keep in mind, in social conflicts, it does matter how many successes you beat the other person by as far as the positive action you get.
Marshal, you say you sound too harsh and that it's a small price to pay. And honestly, if the people of this town agree, I will give myself up to that. But I cannot believe they would go such a cowardly path, and I don't think the people of this town. You say they're not a threat, and yet you are willing to defame your city in the eyes of God. To call out to the other powers out there and say, we need your help. We are worthless on our own. And I know that not to be true. The lack of faith you have, not just in God, but in the people of Coldwater. If that's what they want, I will do it. But I cannot believe that these noble people would give in to that shame.
God damn, you're being so selfless. I might have to give you a +2 for that. Because you basically all but implied that you're still willing to be hogtied outside of town if that is what the people want. But you don't believe they would give in to that. Ugh, yeah, that's gonna undercut their whole religious self-doubt. Okay, yeah, you can have a +2 for that one now. You two have already helped out with this. So, Tortlaw, unless you're coming out of the shadows to do anything with that, you're gonna have to stand on that roll as is.
I think that we could stand on the roll as is.
That's probably safe
He's
at
only
this
got a
point.
+8 though.
I don't think it's.
Hold on, he has a plus. Oh no, I gave him a +2, so it's a +8. Yep, it's 6. It's 6 + 2. Yep.
Yeah,
You're gonna let him.
I'm just gonna let him roll.
All right. So Bandana Man would like to give 1 reroll for Jordan's nice voice,
Yay!
1 reroll for Dom intimidating the chat,
Oh,
and 1 reroll for the table.
thank you.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks so much.
All right, make your roll.
Okay, I'm
And
trying
don't
to-
roll a 1, because, man, if you
That
can't
would-
re-roll that,
Wait,
that would
every
be
time you
bad.
say that,
That would be
it
bad.
happens.
You
So
can
this
roll
is
an
plus
8.
again?
This
Yeah.
is +8.
So roll an 8.
Just roll
Okay.
an eight.
Right?
Just roll an 8.
Is that an
You
eight?
rolled a 1.
Oh, what's this though?
Oh, curse Spanish gold! Curse you, Spanish
I
gold!
thought I had one more piece than I do, but I don't. And instead, it's a 5. And you know
5
what?
plus 8?
I want to go for the 8, so I'm gonna
Wow.
throw 1 more
Really?
curse Spanish
Wow.
gold
Oh, no.
into it.
Now that's like Icarus right there, man.
Nope, it's still a
alright.
5.
I think you should
Well,
do it
a
again.
5.
Look at all the table.
Yeah, but we're giving him all of these.
True.
He's gonna
Yeah,
ruin
but-
us
Do it
with
again. I think
this.
that's a great idea. Do it again.
Okay.
Why
I
is
wanna-
the marshal covering up his?
I know that this is my character's flaw and not my particular flaw, but I
true.
am overconfident, so more curse. One
Okay,
more.
so I'd like to.
Six.
I'd like to
Take it.
imagine that all of those rerolls were portrayed in game by Gabriel Pryor just really wanting to rub the marshal's face in this. So like the whole time that you're winning the crowd over to your side, maybe you're just giving him one sly wink to
Yeah.
the side like, hey, fuck you, buddy. All right, so that's a 6 plus 8, which is a 14. So if my calculations are correct, that's a success with 2 raises.
Double raise.
Which brings the final score at the end of the social conflict. Marshal Hurless, 5. The posse, double that with 10.
Yes.
So the crowd have been very, very deeply swayed by your voice, and you actually hear several of them in the crowd go, we shouldn't allow the Holbrooks to keep doing this to us. It's about time we make a stand, and I agree with what the preacher was saying. Yeah, the marshal's been a coward this whole time, and the marshal just kind of looks out at you, looks out over the crowd. All right, if that's the way you people want to swing it, that's fine by me. After all, I am a servant of the people, and that I am above all other things. However, I will say, I cannot, in good conscience, aid you in whatever it is that you are about to embark upon. I will not act in such a way to call down more violence and bloodshed on this town, and I look forward to the time when all of you come looking to me for answers and help. After
Marshal,
following the preacher's foolish ways.
Marshal, if you believe inaction is the most prudent course to fulfill your duty to this town, why, I leave that to your prerogative.
He just looks at you and spits, and just turns and walks back inside of the marshal's office and slams the door.
I forgive you.
Oh, he forgave him. That was so sweet. Imogene, I do believe that I will be at church on Sunday. So forgiving and kind. So everyone is coming up. They're very excited, and they're thanking you all for the offer of aid that you've made. Some of them are asking, what it is you plan to do to what exactly is the plan? Like, are we going because we'll help. We're all behind you, preacher. And any friend of the preacher's is obviously a friend of Coldwater Creek. So we're behind you. What's the play?
Okay, remind us when was the like give us in?
Noon tomorrow.
Noon tomorrow?
Noon tomorrow. And it is, at this point, it's probably about 8:30 or 9 at night.
Friends, I don't believe any decision could be made right now after the hubbub that has been going on. Let us all sleep and pray on our predicament. And in the morning, we will meet in town square, and God will tell us what to do.
Praise be to the Lord for his guidance and for sending us you, Preacher Pryor. You truly are a gift to this town, and you're going to free us once for all from the iron grip of the Holbrooks. Amen. Amen. And one guy shoots his gun in the air, and everyone's like, no, we've had enough of that tonight, all right? Put your gun away. All right, well, let's get some sleep. We got to get up early to hear the preacher's brilliant plan. Come on. They all shuffle off to their various places of residence or business or what have you, leaving you three alone in the street. What have you been doing this whole time, Torla? Have you been listening?
I've been smoking.
Have you been over by the...
I've been next to the body the whole time.
Okay.
I have not left the body.
Okay.
I was like, maybe this body will come in handy. And then it didn't.
Didn't come in
and I was
handy.
like, well, I'm still here. And I'm looking at
To
it.
be clear, there's not necessarily anything to make this out to be any sort of recognizable body. It's literally just a pile of meat and gore and viscera. However, if you want to spend this time kind of studying it a little bit further, you could do that.
Okay.
Make a... Let's see, you have tracking, right?
Yep.
This doesn't really fall under tracking. I'd say probably make just like a smarts roll for this, if you want to just try and examine it.
I'm pretty smart.
We'll call this under, we'll put this under your common knowledge as a survivalist and all around woods person.
I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay, that seems fair.
How?
With cursed Spanish gold.
I think he's going to use a table.
One of the 30
Yeah,
pieces
you don't wanna
that
get any
Talene
urge.
has.
There we
you
go.
Oh.
Wow.
What am I going to do?
Well, you get to re-roll both of those.
Do I?
Yeah, because both of them aced, so you're going to go with whatever your highest total is. So a 6 and an 8.
Wow.
Oh,
Plus
my
another
God.
8.
What now?
Oh, no.
Oh, what could it be?
8 and 5, that's a 21.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is a success with 4 raises.
Wow.
So, yeah, you have ample time to study this corpse. Or, I'm sorry, pile of meat and viscera.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I did not say corpse. And upon studying it, you do see inside of the boots, which you kind of poke at and prod at, feet. There are feet still inside
There are
of the boots.
feet in the boots.
And kind of just looking around at the walls and the ground and everything, you start to notice that it's not just this pile of viscera. In fact, there seems to be bits of blood and gore and stuff kind of stuck to the wall on either side of this alleyway in certain pieces. And you actually see what looks like sprays of blood. Your best guess of what happened here, bizarre though it may be, is that this man exploded? Maybe, like, you've seen the aftermath of someone playing around with dynamite.
Okay.
And it could have caused this, but you definitely would have heard an explosion from a stick of dynamite, and from what you recall, none was heard. But that's what you're able to determine.
This guy exploded.
All right, so you guys are out in the street. Are you going to rejoin them now that the crowd has subsided?
Is the crowd subsided?
They have subsided fully. They are all but gone.
I'm going to rejoin them and be like, man, that was intense. I was here the whole time. You didn't see me because I was transformed into a fly.
We felt your spirit with us.
I was watching out for you. I was going to bite that sheriff, and then I was like, no, I think they can handle it themselves.
He's a marshal.
Whatever he is. I called him a sheriff on purpose to insult him.
Well, the sheriff would be
Somewhere
elected,
inside
would
of
he?
his office, he goes, "Did someone call me a sheriff? On tonight of all nights,
Maybe I should run.
I should keep drinking."
Well, what are we going to do?
Well, the first thing I say we do is get back to the church, and then maybe we'll suddenly be raptured in the morning, and everyone will wonder what happened.
Well, we could leave tonight. That's also an option, but I don't know. At this point, I want to figure out what's wrong with the Holbrook gang. There's got to be a better way to go about this.
If we were to pull this off, we would have this whole town eaten out of our hands. Brogue, you seem to have some connection with the. Didn't just remind me. You recognize the guy who was the scarred guy, or was
He
that-
did, but I don't believe he shared that with anybody.
Oh, okay. Then I won't say anything about that.
And you still have not yet been able to place from where you recognized Johnny, the scarred leader of the gang, when they encountered you.
Brogue, toward law, I have to admit that most of my planning came down to keep talking until they stop wanting to hog-tie me.
Here's my plan. We hog-tie you. We put you in the place. We hang out in the shadows. They come and take you. We follow them to their place. Come in. We take all their stuff. We kill them. Maybe we don't. But we win some fights. And then we come back here to this town and we're like, hey, look at these dudes. We killed them. Or won the fight against them. Hooray.
Is there a version
Or-
of that plan where we don't hog-tie?
Second plan.
I prefer not to do that as well. I like the stuff part, though.
Hog-tie both of you. That's going to sell it better.
All right, I
Why
think
don't
you're
we
actually
hog-tie
moving in
you?
the wrong direction.
Right, I'm with you.
Hog-tie your clothes in the shape of you with the pig face. They won't know the difference. You kind of look like one anyhow. We just dress the pig up in your clothes,
Carla.
hog-tie it.
She says that
put
about
that
a lot
out.
of people. It's fine.
You're full of comedy
You,
tonight.
you do have some pig-like features. I'm just saying.
Oh, don't listen to them, Gabe.
I
They're
have
just
an
jealous.
endless amount of self-confidence.
We put the
Your
pig
opinion is the only one I care about.
face down so they can't tell it isn't you. They take the pig, surprise, we jump out, we fight them, we kill them, or not. It doesn't matter. We win, and we come back here, and then we're like, give us some food.
I will say, you cannot use persuasion against these guys. They are
Oh, I know.
they are PCs. But his voice sounds just. I think the word I'm looking for is mellifluous.
Oh.
That's how it sounds. And I don't know if I pronounced that properly. And I'm sure they'll correct me in chat if I didn't.
Sounded good to me.
Okay, good. That's how it sounds, though.
No, that's-
you just can't
that's-
help.
that's
you
the
can't
word.
help
That's how-
but
that's the
notice.
word.
Yeah.
You can't help but
When
notice.
we were fighting them before, did anybody take anything of theirs and keep it?
No,
we get
you
rid
guys
of
were
it all?
very responsibly
We were.
not looty of the bodies from earlier.
No one kept anything.
Oh, and I'd like to say quickly that last time I mentioned that it was Hateful Eight where they put stuff on the top of the thing, and it wasn't. It was Django Unchained, right?
No, it was Hateful Eight.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Because
at
the
the
people
very
in
beginning-
chat also pointed out that that it did seem like the Hateful Eight.
Yeah, at the beginning, the stagecoach comes up,
Oh,
and
okay,
he's
it was
sitting
right
on
at
the
the
pile
very
of
beginning.
bodies.
Spoilers, guys. Some of us haven't seen the Hateful Eight.
It's at the very beginning of the movie.
Well,
There
now
are
I know
8
how it
people.
starts. So
Okay.
I mean, I've
I
got
don't
like
have
the
to see
total
it
beginning
anymore.
of it, like
Fair
Ruined. Ruined.
All right,
Um,
okay.
Well, fine. You don't want to get hogtied. I can respect that. Do you want to get blown up?
It's not on the top of my priority list.
Well, I'm just saying,
Here-
blowing up is happening.
Here's the thing.
Around here, these parts is full of blowing up.
this town
It
is
is a
blowing up.
mine. They're mining around here. It's hard
No.
to make sense.
No. You don't remember when you was about to throw up a little while ago?
I'll
It was
remember.
because of a man that blew up.
You're saying that, man, that stuff that we saw in the alleyway was
It was a dude that blew up.
And if we stay here,
You're
We're gonna blow
probably
up.
gonna blow up.
I'll admit I do not follow your logic.
I don't either.
I don't need you to.
So what I'm thinking, no,
Real quick, do you guys want to continue to discuss this stuff in the middle of the street, or would you like to retire to the church for the evening?
let's
Head to the
retire.
church.
Yeah, that makes
Well, that's
sense.
great because the church is already lit up with candles inside.
Aw.
Look at that! You guys probably
Aw.
can't see it unless we turned off all the lights in the studio. You wouldn't
Actually,
be able
probably
to see
could
it.
just turn off those two lights.
Unless we turned off those two lights, you guys wouldn't even be able to see it. Is there a way we can turn those two lights off?
Yeah,
'Cause
just hit that switch behind you.
this church looks
It's impossible.
pretty nice. It's impossible.
impossible.
They're
They
off?
won't
They're
come
on
back
forever.
on.
I feel like you can see it less.
From the hold on, maybe from the side, guys. Look from the
Oh.
side.
Oh.
See that? That is dedication to small miniature details.
There it is.
Maybe no one in chat was even going to ever see that, but we were going to see it if we knew it was there.
Right?
If you're listening to the official Wildcards soundtrack that has not been put together at all by anybody, turn on Padre Ramirez in the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly score, and that's what we're listening to right now.
But for legal reasons, we
For
can't.
legal reasons, no, there's
We're
no
not
way we
listening
can
to that.
Play that at all.
We will disavow.
Yeah,
All right, so
you never heard it here.
so you guys head back up to the church. Now, are you going to make a campfire outside of the church, like this lovely Arknight map tile would indicate, and talk there, or would you talk inside of the church?
Probably inside. You know?
Okay.
We have it, so.
For the purposes of a nice table setup, I'm going to keep it looking like this.
Right. This is better.
That seems fair.
Okay. All right. So at this point, it's probably around 9:30, which means everyone's done for the night. It's dark, so day's over. It's been dark for a while. Businesses in town are putting their lights out and closing up.
All right. Tort, I don't believe we can say we are taking hog tying off the table, but
We
I
shouldn't. Hog
don't think
tying
it's.
It's
My-
a good idea.
I don't like it. James, haven't you dealt with things like this before?
I've dealt with my fair share of gangs, marauding towns, and such. I've even been a part of a few, but these guys strike me as something altogether different. I don't know. I caught a glimpse of the one with the Remington or Winchester. Was it a Winchester?
His rifle, it was
Yeah.
too far away to see.
Too far away. That's right.
Johnny, though, everyone, the other bandits referred to him as Johnny.
Johnny.
You all heard that.
I got a relatively decent eye on Johnny, the leader, and has a scar down his face. I swear I've seen him before, but I don't know where I can place him.
Well, where might a group like this be? Where would they go back to? Where it's got to be somewhere nearby, right?
Do you want to use common knowledge for that?
Sure.
Okay, so go ahead and make a common knowledge roll because as a bounty hunter and gun for hire, this is just going to be a smarts roll.
Okay.
So this would be in your background. So I'm going to add +2 to this roll for you because the behavior of outlaw groups like this would be something you would be familiar with.
Okay.
So make your roll and add +2 to it.
7.
7. All right, so that is a success. So you know that due to the jurisdictional setup of Western towns, the marshal, the town marshal, only has jurisdiction within the town limits. So the circuit sheriff of this county or region will be circling around from time to time to deal with things larger than that jurisdiction, but outlaw groups, knowing that the marshal only has jurisdiction over the town, will often commit their crimes and then head for the hills outside of town where they tend to hole up so that they are outside of the marshal's jurisdiction and basically above reproach of the law.
If I had my guess, they're probably out in those hills that we see right behind us right now. They're probably. The thing is, we don't know how many people this Johnny has on his roster. So
We don't.
We could
We
be.
have no way of knowing.
I will also point out, you were in the marshal's office the other day and you saw separate wanted posters for Johnny, last name Carrington, by the way. You saw that.
Johnny Carey.
And Holbrook was a separate wanted poster, so you know that
Right.
he is not Johnny Holbrook, the leader of the gang.
Well,
Sorry.
we haven't even dealt with this Holbrook character, and he's who the whole gang was following. So however we proceed with caution here.
Tort, you mentioned explosions.
Uh-huh.
Was that with dynamite? Something we could
There's a
procure?
creature that explodes people.
What? What sort
He
of
hangs out
creature
here.
can do that?
Special one.
I admit I sometimes cannot tell if what you say is embellishment.
Probably.
I think she definitely does that, but it's hard to tell about this one.
What I'm thinking, however, unrelated to exploding monsters, or monsters that cause explosion, is, if they're right nearby, and we saw the road they took out of town, just go there, find the place that where's the most horses traveling together, and just track them back to their little secret hideout.
But we don't know how many there might be.
That's why
Well,
we sneak up
It's not a bad
and look
idea.
and see how many there
It's
are.
not.
And then we hog tie you and leave you the next day.
No, I still don't like that idea.
Not to mention,
Follow you in.
that being said, if we do find out how many there are, we could always take out their horses and seriously impede their ability to back each other up. If there's too many,
If we're going to take these, if we're going to take them on in any stage or fashion, we need to do some reconnaissance, and we need to scout them out and find out just exactly how many we're dealing with and
Let's have a
what we're
quick
dealing with.
question. How good are you at sneaking around places?
I'm pretty decent at it. But my problem is we only have till noon tomorrow to figure this out.
I'd say on a scale of 4 to 12, I'm about a 4.
Just an arbitrary scale here. It starts at 4, ends at 12. Everyone who was present at the end of the social conflict, so everyone but Tort Law, make a smarts roll for me.
Ooh,
Woohoo!
So smart.
11.
11?
Oh,
Nice.
8.
8?
nope.
No.
5.
Okay. So, Rosaline, thinking back to what the general mood and vibe and what the townsfolk were saying at the end, you get the definite impression that a lot of them would be willing to assist you guys the next day if that was something you decided that you needed. So that's another thing to consider.
Well, I think we have the town on our side, so we could
So we
use
hog
them.
tie you.
All
and
right,
get the
hold on right there, Tartla.
town
I feel
to
like
fight
you have
him.
something about hog tying, and I'm not entirely sure it's just this
I think it
particular
would be
situation.
funny.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so let's put that one to the side for now.
For now.
For now.
But bring it back as soon as I want to.
All
Which
right.
is now.
But
Hog
we
tie!
might not agree with you there. All right, so we don't
She
have.
does love the hog tie.
I've noticed that.
Well,
Apparently.
a person has to have a hobby. Right now, my hobby is hog tying
I'd also like to point
people
out,
that I know.
at one point your plan was to hog tie a hog dressed in his clothes. So I mean that's 2 layers of hog tying that would be
Yeah.
That
happening.
was
It is.
meta hog
If you're
tying.
going to hog
dedication.
tie anything, it
Do
should
her
be.
right.
Should be a hog. So maybe we could use some of the townsfolk for help. I mean, that doesn't do much for us tonight, but we have to start somewhere. And I don't know that we can take them all ourselves. We don't have enough information. However, if we could find a bit of
Oh
the
man,
gang
if
stuff
only
around
we
town.
knew somebody who was a scout in some type of
If
war.
if we could find a
Where will we find such a person?
I
James! James, where will we find such a person who scouted things out for soldiers? It's a
Tony,
lost
there's something you're
cause.
trying to
I'm
express.
going into this church and I'm giving up. I'm going to become a Christian and die right there.
Well, look, you swayed Turtla to be a Christian already. That's how good your con is.
I'm better than I thought.
Oh, you are quite good.
I'm
You
not
can't help
ever
but
go-
notice how mellifluous your voice sounds. I mean, it's been this way for like 40 minutes now. It's pretty great. Feels good.
Is it gonna last
Feels
that way
good coming
forever?
out.
It's quite nice.
I believe I've got a few more minutes left, so we might as well enjoy it.
Why
while we
don't you
got it.
guys go into the church and enjoy that voice? I'll get you something that belongs to one of them when I go and scout their place.
Are you gonna
can
do
come
that
with me,
right now,
but only
Turtla?
if you're It's dark.
I know.
Everyone's asleep. It's the perfect time.
It is. It is. So is that what you're going to do?
But I don't know. Is it wise to wait for the morning?
I don't think it is. But we're at a bit of a time crunch, and if you don't find anything tonight, then what are we going to do tomorrow?
Hog tie.
No, Turtla. I refuse.
Listen.
You can hog tie yourself. You haven't put that one out there yet, have you? That's what we'll do. We'll hog tie you.
Well, hold on.
You'll love it.
That's really hard to do.
I can,
You gotta have
I
a
can
good
figure
angle
it
on
out
somebody.
for Turtla, just for you. You know I would do
With
that.
God,
I appreciate it.
Anything is possible. That's
I'm
true.
sure James knows how to do it.
Hog tie himself.
Never
And what
I'll
makes
tie you.
Yeah.
Somewhere to start.
So what are we leaning towards here? What's
Not
the plan?
hog tying.
Not
Yes.
hog tying.
So
Clearly
that's
that is
your opinion.
not anyone's plan except for Tortlaw's.
But it's 100%
what,
Tortlaw's
what do
opinion.
you need?
Plan.
What do you need of theirs? What would that do?
I need an object I could potentially see their surroundings if I had something like that.
Oh wait, so we're not scouting for them necessarily. We're looking for
An object.
an object that belonged to one of
Could
them.
go
a
either way.
material.
Yeah, anything that belongs to them.
You still have that bullet in that Bible?
Well, I believe I do.
Oh, good idea, James. You're always full of those.
Now who shot that bullet?
We don't know.
Oh,
No,
yes,
we do.
Johnny.
We
Oh,
do
we
know
do
who
know.
shot
We
that
know
bullet.
100%.
Guy.
Johnny Scarface.
Johnny Carrington, the leader of the gang, and therefore someone who is still alive,
Hell.
shot that bullet, and it did belong to him.
The
Now-
Lord is generous.
Correct me if I am wrong. It is something that. What are the constraints on
Let
casting
me-
Mind
Let
Rider,
me find
Rosalie?
it here. Well, 8. I know they have to be within 8 miles, which I assume they are.
Well, you'll find out.
I will
if you
find
try and
out.
cast it.
This is just
Can
cutting
we just
into my scouting
acknowledge
time.
how narratively cool it would be, though, to magically track them using the bullet that
Yeah.
they shot
I mean,
at us?
there's definitely a possibility that could happen. I'm just saying. This is exploring one of the hucksters. I'm sorry, the high class escort. The Irish person from Boston. She's also a huckster. She is in love with Gabriel Pryor.
You gotta really.
This is
low-
utilizing one of her non-loud skills.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. If the victim. Hold on. This is not the easiest way to do this.
I think it's just something that they touch.
Yeah, it's just some. Well, I think
Do you
your
need
subject's
the-
ears. The book might be easier. Yeah.
Um,
The page number.
Well, here, we'll save you that. For the time being, we'll look that up for next time. But for the time being, we'll say that something they touched, and Johnny absolutely would have loaded his own rifle with that bullet.
Right.
So he did touch that bullet. So you are free to try
Okay.
and see if you can ride his mind.
I would like to. All right. So, since this is the first
Now, it's
time
only
doing it-
been,
Well,
it's probably been it hasn't been 6 hours since that encounter, probably. So you've only recovered 1 PowerPoint since then.
Okay.
Because you recover PowerPoints very slowly, which is to encourage you to make a more reckless move when
Yes,
trying
it
to
is.
cast.
I feel like it's a little less reckless right now, so I might just try it.
You're going to try it?
Well, I have my dead man's hand.
Okay. Huckster doesn't feel like she wants to spend any PowerPoints, so things are about to get interesting here.
well, we could try and get there first.
You could, but this might be faster. If it doesn't work, then you all can go. Right?
So do they all know what you can do with this?
He definitely
I know.
knows.
He does.
He suspects.
Yeah, I have an idea that she's capable of doing things beyond, and I sort of turn a blind eye to it.
Okay.
I allow her to do it. But
Tortla,
I think
where are you on the spectrum? Do you know what she can do?
I think I know everything.
Torla knows.
Whether you do it or not.
Torla
Whether I
knows.
do or not
100%.
is immaterial.
100% she knows what you're talking about and what you're planning on doing. Are you cool with it?
Yeah.
She's cool with it too.
I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm irked that no one wants me to go sneak into some places
Now-
and people are rejecting
I
tying.
would say, Tortla, you would know as an expert tracker that tracking at night is much more difficult. And so getting some extra information about where you might need to look, this would not preclude you from also tracking. This might actually be a help to you.
Yeah.
Trying to make your job easier, Tartla.
I don't have a job.
Well, you
Pay
do.
me?
Your
Are
job
you
is
paying me to this?
scout,
It's a
isn't
hobby.
it?
It's a hobby that I do for my
You
own
scout
pleasure.
and you hog tie. That's your hobbies.
Yeah, and I will add more.
I could help you find some other ones if you want.
I don't
Some
need-
other
What they do for
ones.
money and what they do for fun is.
Oh, but those two can go together, I see.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Things are getting intense in this church.
That's got
So what do
This
I need?
is not what this church was built for.
Well, this
This kind of conversation.
this church doesn't know what it was built for yet.
That's a good
We're
point.
going to tell it.
My God.
I like that.
All right, so we're casting Mind Rider.
Yes.
And you are going to make a deal with the devil to summon the power to do this.
Yes.
Okay.
Real quick, on the range it says 1 mile time spellcasting.
Right, so your
So
spellcasting
we
die
all,
is a D8.
is she just going to
I
do
see,
this
I
in
see.
front of us?
I got confused.
Probably.
I see no reason.
You've seen her do stuff like this before. Now how you interpret what is about to happen is up to your character. But you've definitely seen her produce a deck of cards from seemingly nowhere before. But you've seen stage magicians and card sharps do that. Now this deck seems a little strange when you look at it, but only if you look too hard.
I imagine that I hid it for a while, but I mean, if we work together to the degree that we do, you would have to know.
Okay.
So we didn't get
At
the
least to
chance
some
to
degree.
explore this earlier in the stagecoach. But what does your mystical deck of cards look like, Rosalie?
Well, I imagine this is the deck of cards that I have that I use, but it's going to be different than this. I imagine it's like kind of a black glowing deck of cards, but it glows kind of like an otherworldly green. Like it's too bright of a green, and the black also glows, which doesn't make any sense. And it's kind of like there's almost like smoke tendrils around it.
Okay.
So if you look real close, it just looks weird.
So that's the deck that she produces. And for Mind Rider, I believe what you have to do is examine the cards in your hand, right? I think that's true.
I
We'll say
think
that's what it
so.
is for now. So she produces this strange, weird, otherworldly deck of cards and fans them out in her hand
really say
and
that.
spends a moment studying them. That's what's happening in the real world. But in her mind, she is challenging a Manitou for the power to cast this spell. So, how many power points do you need to cast this spell?
I need 3.
You need 3. So, do you know which hand you need to draw to get 3 power points?
Do I know which hand I need to draw?
So there's the
Aren't
chart
I-
in the back of the book
Ah,
that'll let you know how many power points each hand is worth. I'll pull that
Okay.
up for you while you shuffle.
no, I thought I just had to beat. I see what you're saying. I forgot about that.
Dom's got it for you. He's faster than me.
Fastest.
Remember that you can.
Fastest book opener in the West.
Fastest
your hand.
indexer.
I probably will.
So you need a pair of jacks or better in
Okay,
order to do this.
that's not too bad. Hey,
Um,
can I get the hand dealt to me, and then I can use this? I can
That just
decide?
gives
What does the
you
card
2
say?
extra eight. What is it?
It gives me
When any character is
2
dealt a
pair.
poker hand for any reason, that hand becomes 2 pair, ace, 8, jack.
So I would
And
say,
copy
by
jack.
the way that is written, that you could get your hand dealt to you and then
And then
decide
decide,
whether
right?
or
I
not
think
you
so.
wanted
Yeah,
to do
That's
that.
how I
That.
interpreted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you need 3 power points.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to
Yeah,
draw
jacks are better.
5 cards plus 1 per point of grit that you have, which is 1 at this point. So you're going
Okay.
to draw 6 cards, and then you're going to make the best poker hand you can
Out of those 6
out of
cards?
those. So out of those 6, you can make the best hand of 5.
5. Okay, that's what I figured. Okay.
So flip them over for everybody to see dramatically
Oh.
one at a time
All right.
from that face down pile. So you drew
Ooh.
an ace of spades.
Can you guys see this? Should I do it here in the dice cam? Is this better?
Yes.
Okay.
Ace of spades.
Ooh.
Oh!
An ace of diamonds.
I'm already doing pretty well.
A 7 of diamonds.
Oh,
A jack of diamonds.
I did 2.
And a 2. So your total hand is a pair of aces.
That's 5 cards.
Yeah, don't you get to do
get
six?
Oh, you get
6?
one more. You get one more card.
Oh, right. I didn't draw
And then
it.
you can make a hand of 5.
Yeah.
It is an 8.
and an 8 of hearts.
So
So your best hand still remains. It's
fair.
going to be ace, ace, 7, 8, jack.
I don't even need this.
You don't, because all you needed to cast this was jacks or better.
oh,
So,
So inside your mind, you beat this shapeless, formless creature at this game of cards, and it retreats back into the darkness of the hunting
I like to
grounds.
imagine on the outside as that's happening, like I am studying the cards, but my eyes kind of glaze over, and after that happens, I just start to smile before I come back.
And you are infused with power. Now, make your spell casting.
We all
roll.
feel a chill, kind of like.
Probably.
I get a little shifty, and I kind of adjust my holster a little bit and kind of put my hand on my gun.
I say-
it's just a little weird.
oh, you seem to be new. To like a corner.
Okay.
Try hog tie in that one.
It would be fun.
The newly renovated church creaks and groans in the silence.
Okay, so now I make the spellcasting roll,
Yep.
which is D8. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. All right. What is that? 12, 17.
17. So that is a success with 2 raises.
All right.
So what do raises get you for Mind Rider? Let's see, I already
I
have the
just
book
closed
open.
it.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Mind Rider.
I don't know that I.
Actually
It
doesn't
doesn't really
get
get me
anything for having
anything.
a raise.
Yeah, that's what I
You
thought.
can
Okay.
keep the fan.
I can keep. Oh, it's my.
All right.
Otherwise, you would have had to get rid of the.
Right.
So you have the bullet, and you have your cards in the other hand, and as you study them, your mind kind of casts out and finds Johnny Carrington's, and all of a sudden you inhabit his body and his senses.
But so here's my question about how this will work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm experiencing that, but I can talk. I can talk at this, and they can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
So this is what you are simultaneously existing here in the church and also inside of everything that Johnny Carrington is experiencing.
I get that
Not what he's thinking,
glazed
but just
look
what he's
again.
experiencing.
Okay.
So you appear to be sitting in front of a campfire that is dying down to ash. And you are definitely outside at a camp. You can see around you in the darkness the shapes of several men in various different like skins and bed rolls. Looks to be about 10 men.
Can I see any faces?
You can't see any faces. They're all kind of bundled up. Some of them got their hats over their face to drown out the light of the fire.
Do I have the ability to control where he looks?
No.
Or is it, I'm just
You can only
existing?
see what
Okay.
he is seeing, and he is tending the fire, and
Okay.
just kind of like poking at the embers. And then he kind of throws his stick in there and sort of sits back. So you can see from the peripherals, he's got a pretty good view of the kind of circled camp.
Okay.
There appear to be trees. They do appear to be down behind what looks like a hill. You can see hills up in front of you, and you get the sense of not openness behind you, but a closed kind of space. Like there's not a lot of open space behind you. Instead, there's something to your back.
Okay.
You feel a log beneath you that you appear to be sitting on. And then he kind of goes and starts getting ready in his bedroll and lies down. Your vision goes sideways and then darkens.
So I don't see a whole lot of like visual markers of any kind, really, other than
You definitely
just
see.
camp.
You definitely see hills.
Uh-huh.
You see some trees. They look like taller pines.
So, but no, like, wow, that tree, like one of those really big, crazy-looking
No,
trees.
you just get the
Okay.
impression that it's kind of like down behind, like in a space, sort of like almost like a very small valley that they've made their campsite in.
Okay.
And then yeah, about from your count, from what you could see through his eyes, about 10 men.
All right. It looks like they've made camp somewhere. It looked like there were about 10 men with them, and I got the sense that maybe there was a hill, something behind them that they were up against, but they were out in the open, and there were hills nearby and trees, some of the pine trees. So I think you're right, James, about maybe they're being up by the hills, but I didn't get much more than that, except that he just went to sleep. And they all seem to be sleeping, so now might be a good time to go over there. If you want to scout, not hog tie, but scout Tartla.
I will also say, because you succeeded on that roll, he was not aware of an
Right.
intruding presence in his mind. Had you failed,
Yeah.
he would have been aware that something weird had just happened.
How good are you at tracking things at night?
Awesome. All I have to do is turn into an owl. And I'll fly over there.
Could you do that for us now? I'd love to see that.
Would you?
I would, actually.
All right. I'll do it right now.
All right. I'm
Wait,
ready
am
for
I
this
going
one.
tracking with you? I can't be an owl if I'm going with him.
Wait,
I'll be so much faster
just
than him.
fly above him. You can go
No.
and keep an
But
eye
he'll
on
go
him.
so fast and he'll be so slow. I'll get forced.
if
I'll
you
get
switch
frustrated.
to an owl.
I'm an experienced liar, and I can never tell if this one is bullshitting me or
It
not.
is pretty fascinating, isn't it?
Painted Meeple, thank you for the host.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
If you can turn into an owl, you don't need me. You just fly on over there.
But I'd like to see it before you leave.
I would love you to see it.
Do you need us to turn around or anything?
No, I do not. I'm just going to go outside into the darkness where I will turn into an owl.
All right, I'll come with you.
I don't.
Can I bring my torch?
I'll-
What? I want to see
as
this.
soon as I'm
This is
done, I'll
fascinating.
fly back in.
It's
and
not
I'll be
every
like,
day you get to see someone turn into
It's
an
true.
owl.
I have to
What's
see this.
up?
You've never showed me torch.
I've seen
You
a
always
lot of
talk
things.
about
I haven't
this.
seen anyone turn into a.
You know
an
how
owl
curious.
before.
Piqued my interest.
Even if you know how curious I am. You can't.
Fine,
you can't
I'll turn
believe
into
it.
an owl right now.
All right. Oh,
Right now.
This is wonderful.
Now it's come and gone.
No, it's a process.
It takes some time.
Now I've got to start over. So now the time has gone back. It's going to take even longer.
All right,
All
so
right, we won't
Tortlov
interrupt.
begins her process.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm going to get my horse ready.
All right.
You don't have a horse.
Damn it! Try
Just
it.
go
Try
take
it.
one.
Horses
Go
cost
take
money,
one.
dumb.
Go take one, James. They won't notice.
Right. Who would notice?
But if we're going up against 10 men, should we go knock on some doors right now and see if we can get some backup?
We could. They might want to know a plan, which we don't have yet.
Well, maybe we can ride by on charm for the next
Our
10
best
minutes
bet
or
may be
so.
the saloon. You might find some people handy with a gun there.
I can't turn to an owl and go to a saloon. Let's go.
And perhaps people who have a little bit of liquid courage in their system.
I will say, just looking out the window from the church, because the church is kind of perched up on the hill, you can see that actually almost all the lights in town are extinguished at this point.
You're at the saloon.
Yeah, even at the saloon. After all the excitement
9:30
of
at
the
night.
gunfight, and well, at this point it's closer to 10. All the gunfight and the then the schoolhouse being burned down, and the whole like Marshall yelling at the new preacher in the street, and everyone going like, "Yeah, no." Everyone's pretty tuckered out, and they're ready for tomorrow.
Do we know where that kid lives who dueled him?
You do not know where Boyd Parker lives.
Damn it.
Boyd Parker is an enigma who stalked off drunkenly into the night after being humiliated at James Bogue's
He's going
hands.
to shoot me in the back of the head, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think we could give him a chance to redeem himself.
I'm not inside his head.
He's got. We know he owns a gun.
That's
He
true.
does.
The extent of it.
Well, do we know anyone in this town who would be able to help us? I think if we knocked on a door and called people to the crusade, they might come.
You get the feeling you got a lot of converts to your crusade from your speech in town square. Like there will probably
You told them that to come in the morning.
there will be many people who show up in the morning, and they are probably ready to do whatever
Probably
they
like
need to do.
polished their guns and loaded them up.
Oh
and
man,
then
they're
went
polishing
to
their
bed
guns,
early.
and then
Here
they're
we go.
making sure their
In
rifles
my
are in good
ideal
condition.
world- in my ideal world, what happens is we handle this tonight, and tomorrow, Johnny Scarface rolls into town and falls dead off the back of his horse, smitten by God.
I do like that plan.
But we gotta
I
work
like
on
it.
it now.
Here's the thing. We can ride out and try and find this camp. If we don't find it in a couple hours, we're going to have to come back anyway. In the morning, you ring this here church bell. Bring the townsfolk into town, into the church, so that we can talk to them. Or we can go door to
We'll
door.
hog tie you and bam.
No hog tying.
If we're going to get some help, we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to do it fast in the morning.
I
You
mean,
may
if
not want to ring the bell. You might bring some unwanted attention to us, but
we have more than 10, we're better off, at least as far as we can tell for now.
Look, if there's 10 men there, as much as I hate to put my neck out in this, I think we should all go with you. You can lead the charge, but you might need us there. Now, I know my gun is not as fast or as accurate as yours, but a gun is a gun.
well, I can't vouch for your safety if we go.
I
We
can
can take
really
care.
not vouch for your safety because I will be an owl.
We can take care of ourselves. You've seen that.
All right. Well,
This is what I think about that.
oh, the owl's coming out.
That's right. Starting to get connected
Yeah.
to the owl spirit.
Sassy owl.
I think Gabe here saved you with his Bible, didn't he?
Or something else would have saved me.
Oh, you think so?
Who knows?
Not even grateful for you.
I still want to see the owl.
I do too. I'm with you.
All right, so the
Ready
plan
for
is
that.
you guys are going to strike out into the night in search of this camp that Rosaline saw in her mind's eye, combined with the tracking ability of the other members of the posse to try and find Johnny and his men while they sleep and take them unawares.
So here's what I think we should do. You guys are obviously the trackers and stuff, so we'll kind of like stay behind at like, you
A
know,
distance?
100 to like 200 yards kind of thing. Maybe you can like light a match
Aye.
if there's like a.
I'll just hoot at you.
Fire in the. No, that won't work.
I will just hoot at
can
you
hoot at
when
us.
it's time for you to move forward.
Yeah, so we'll be in the back. We'll be on reserve, and you guys can call us in when the going gets tough, right?
Sounds good to me. Let me put on the proper attire. I want to go change into my other non-fancy outfit with all of my knives, my knife holster. And
She has a few
I have
different
so many
outfits
knives.
and a custom-made knife holster rig that allows you to have how many
Marion
knives on your
Scarlet.
body at one
I think
time?
I have 10, something like that.
10 knives on her body at one time because we did the math and realistically she could have those holstered in a way that
Totally
she could
works.
keep them. So 10 knives, guys. All right, so everybody is suiting up in their knife outfit or their owl suit.
I don't have to wear an owl suit. I transform into an owl.
My
We're
mistake.
ready for it, Tartla.
I also
to get
put on
away
more
from the
regular
fire
clothes,
and the
so
dark.
I'm not dressed as a.
Okay, so you're not dressed as a preacher. You've got your normal folk clothes on. Bogue, I imagine you were always dressed in black
Yep.
with
pretty
your
much.
pipe. Cool. So where are you guys going to start? So you're going to be trying to track, and you guys are heading towards a familiar location that Rosaline saw. So she'll be able to hopefully guide you once you get a bit closer.
The
But-
start has got to be the part of town where they left.
Okay, so
Because
you're-
that's going to be, even in the dark, that's going to be an easy track. A whole bunch of horses.
Yep.
Yeah, we're circling around.
It
You're
was
able to
several
see
horses, and as someone who is an experienced tracker, you do know it is much easier to track a large group of people even at night. So what are you going? Despite that, you're still going to need to see in the dark. As far as I know, none of you can see in the dark.
I'm an owl now.
I'm an
That's-
elf, so
Oh, you're an elf.
Oh yeah.
She's an elf.
What's my dark vision?
low light
like?
at least.
I think it's just low light vision. Nope, nobody has that. You guys are going to need some sort of light source for this.
It says D&D though on the stream.
It does, but the stream is a liar.
Ooh.
It also says hashtag
I'm
wildcards.
I'm sure there's a
hashtag.
Is the
lantern.
moon out?
Let's find out. Why don't you roll a let's
Moon
see. Let's see how many phases of the moon are there? There is there's new moon, full moon, waxing and waning. So we'll just call waxing and waning. We'll put those in the halfway point. Full moon or new moon. So roll a d4 for me. On a 1, it's a new moon. There's no moon out. On a 4, it's a full moon.
This is the odds on this are all wrong because there's only about 3 or 4 nights out of a month that are completely dark.
That's true, but at the same time, I'm giving you much better odds that there's a full moon. So when you think about it like that, it's kind of balanced out.
All right.
Also, in the middle, you've got 2 different things where there's half moonlight.
Okay.
What
So-
about storm clouds?
Whew, man, that's
Stop
going to be another. I'm
interfering.
going to need a D100 roll for different weather
Okay.
patterns,
Okay.
but we'll start with the D4.
Here's the D4. And what's the good ones?
The good ones are anything but 1.
Okay, so this will not be a 1. It'll
It's
be a 4.
It's a full fucking moon out tonight, guys. So full, so bright. You know what? We're gonna call this dim light outside. It's not
Nice.
darkness, it's dim light. That's how bright the moon is. So big,
Better
scary
to see
big.
your owl then.
Why is the moon so big right now? Nobody knows. It's weird.
It's one of those special moons that you hear about on the internet, and then you run outside, and it's really the same moon as always.
In about 100,
super moon.
in about
It's a super moon.
130 years, that's the kind of moon you can read about on the internet.
Okay,
Saturn is so big right now.
and then
All right.
I love how those articles also have like a picture of Saturn, as though you're going to see Saturn.
Here it is.
They'll have a picture
All the
that's
rings.
like
Wait.
the moon, but red, and they'll be like, it's gonna be larger than the moon. You're
Right,
like,
right, and then you go out to look, and you're like, it's still just a red dot.
I've never once seen the rings of Saturn, and I'm very upset by that news media. Fake news, I cry. So,
Yeah.
you guys are heading to the burned schoolhouse.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of confusion in the streets, in the dust of the
I
streets.
thought everyone went to sleep. Oh,
They
in the
did.
tracks.
I'm talking in the tracks because after they rode around in circles for a bit, all the townsfolk were out there trying to set up the bucket brigade to put it out. But you're going to make a tracking roll.
Yes, I am.
So you are going to get a bonus of +2 because this was a large group that you're tracking. You are also going to get a -1 for it being dim light,
Okay.
and an additional -2 for all the confusion from the
So a total of
people running
-1.
around. A total of -1 to this roll. I believe in you. Is that a 3 or an 8?
Where?
Or 6?
That's a 6.
Or 7?
That's a 6.
Okay.
Or 1, or a 2.
Word.
-1 is still a success.
Real quick though, we should see because he can track as well.
Okay.
You're probably the primary tracker, but you're probably going to want to help her out with a cooperative role, I would imagine,
Yes.
if you can do that.
I have tracking.
Okay. So I believe Tortlaw was the person who taught you how to track.
I taught
Yep.
you how to track.
So you-
in fact, what happens is I kneel down around these tracks and I point at that and I say, "You know what that is, James? You know what that is? You know what that is?
Yeah.
You know what that is?"
They look like horse hoofs to you.
They're horse hooves.
Good job. A+.
Yeah. So okay.
So make your tracking roll to aid her.
All right. Oh, hand me that 6.
Ace. That's an
11.
11. So that is a success with 1 raise. So you're going to add an additional +2 to your tracking roll.
Okay.
Okay. So what was your total roll then after the
It was a 6 minus a
minus
1
for a 5?
plus
two.
2.
So that is a success with no raises. So let's pull out the old Savage Worlds core rulebook and see if they give us any specifics for how much tracking that's going to buy you, or if I'm going to have to.
Do I have to okay, yeah, actually that's a good question. With the tracking thing like this, is it get a good roll and it takes me as far as I can go?
It's actually it says
Or is it
in the book
multiple rolls?
each one is going to generally follow the tracks for a mile. So you're gonna have to make this roll
Okay.
for every additional mile basically that you go.
All right.
If you get probably like a raise, I would say we'll call that 2 miles.
Okay.
So why don't we just we'll throw out it's gonna buy you an extra mile for every raise that you get on your tracking roll.
Cool.
So you can track these guys for about a mile. So they head out down the other side of Main Street. So not the way that you guys came into town,
Yeah.
but the other end of town, past the marshal's office and out into the darkness.
Okie dokie.
But because the moon is so bright, you actually don't have much difficulty, the two of you, following these tracks together. And James has actually provided quite a lot of help pointing out different things. The two of you make quite a tracking team. And you two are hanging back
By
a
the way,
bit
I'm
from
an
them now.
owl now.
And
Did I
she's an
miss
owl
it?
now.
Is
Yeah.
she now?
I am not going to tell you. She's just gonna say she's an owl, and you're gonna have to decide what that means.
Okay.
And Talene,
Yeah.
I have to give you a fate chip for this really good playing up of a major delusion.
I feel like you calling it a delusion makes people think that it's not real.
I'm just saying, that's how it's handled in the mechanics of the game. Whether or not it's an actual delusion, you decide. All right, so you follow it for about a mile outside of town. So they take the main road, it looks like.
Yeah.
And you can follow these tracks because these guys are fairly new. This isn't the path that most stagecoaches come from.
Yeah.
So you're heading up towards the mines, towards the mountainous end of town. And then they kind of veer off off the trail and out into like the grass. And you're able to follow that for quite a ways. But stopping short of the tree line up ahead, you sort of get confused and you need to make your tracking roll again.
Okay. 6.
6. And are you still gonna
Yeah.
cooperate?
Yeah.
Are you cooperating here, Bo?
I land on his shoulder. Look over.
Can I see this from where I'm at?
Can you see what?
Can I see
Yeah,
them?
you guys aren't too far back, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because you got to be able to follow them. So yeah, you can see her.
5.
5. So that's 1 success. You're going to add a +1 to that. So what is the total of your roll now, Tween? With a +1?
With all the minuses from before?
So it's basically a
it's a
0.
6.
It's a 6. Okay, so that's another success. So you're able to track them up to the tree line. So they kind of make a beeline.
I feel a lot
through.
better in the trees because I'm an owl.
Yeah, that's true. You're much more comfortable there. So you track it up to the tree line, and you can see here it looks like they had to dismount and lead their horses through the trees because it gets kind of thick over here in the undergrowth. You're also now starting to head into a more like hillier sort of terrain. It's starting the path is getting a little bit more elevated and difficult. So keep an eye out, Rosaline, from further back to when you start to see something that looks familiar.
Okay,
So-
how will I know?
I'll let you know. I'm just trying to say this like so that we're all here in the
Okay.
world of the game together. But I'll let you know when you see that.
Okay.
So you start to kind of track up through the woods. And you guys walk for a good long while because it takes a little while to pick your way through here. The moonlight is
I'm not walking, I'm an owl.
Right. The moonlight is not quite as bright coming through the trees because they are getting close together, so it becomes a bit more difficult to pick your way through the tracks. And after about a mile, you lose the tracks again. It becomes unclear whether they then double back and go back out and head towards the mountains or keep going straight up towards the hills. So at this point, your light has gone down a bit.
Okay.
So you're at a -2 now for this
Minus
tracking
2.
roll.
Moonlight?
There it is.
What were these again? Which one's the...
So the
Add a
white ones you can
D6.
use to re-roll. The blue one you can use to just add a straight up D6.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll.
You're gonna re-roll? You got a 5 and a 4?
Yep.
Okay.
5 and a 5.
I'm gonna re-roll again.
All right. Are you sure you can afford to do this, Chalene?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna go for broke.
All right.
There's
Hold
my
on.
8.
We're in the trees now, right?
No, that's a 3.
That's a 3.
It's too
Hold on,
dim
hold
in
on.
here.
There's a West Otis track for everything. So we're in the forest now, right?
Yeah,
We're in the trees.
yeah.
Ah, but it's not raining.
No.
It can be.
It could be. You know what? Sure.
Light rain. Light
It
rain.
starts to drizzle a little bit. Clouds come rolling in.
I think what you're looking for is pirates
not
on the
too many.
starboard bow.
But they don't
Actually-
cover the moon.
No, they don't cover the moon, nor do they obscure the tracks. They're just kind of like thematic. And also because I forgot to load the regular forest track in, so we got rainy nighttime forest from Plate Mail Games. Check them out.
Okay.
It's a 7.
Yeah, okay, that's a success. That,
A 7?
Yeah.
Still cooperate?
Yeah. I don't know. She's an owl. All right.
I don't truck with no owls.
6.
Based on both.
Yeah, you get to
Reroll
do
both of them.
again.
Who doesn't truck with no owls?
James Bogue.
10.
10. So that is another success with a raise. So that is a +2, which cancels out your -2 modifier.
Okay.
So your roll is 7?
Yep.
All right, so 7. You find that instead of doubling back and heading towards the mountains, they do actually continue up towards the hillier area, and something about this is starting to look familiar. As you guys crest up, and ignore the rain, it's not really raining that much, it's just foresty. The
the
trees are
ocean
making
surf.
noise. That's more the trees. They're rustling in the wind.
There's
That's
a
what we're saying. They're
river
rustling in the
nearby.
wind, and there's a creek, Coldwater Creek. It's coming down.
Runs
Yeah.
through
It's
it.
by here. You can hear it at
It
night
does run
because it's
through
so
it.
clear. Anyways, as you start heading up further, you start to see another hill in the distance coming over the top of the incline that you guys are going up that looks slightly familiar. And as you guys crest the top of that, you're actually looking down at a small grove of trees in the middle of what looks like a tiny valley. Now, what is in the valley is obscured by the trees from the point that you're at, but this looks like it very well could be the spot that you saw through Johnny Carrington's eyes.
But we're still further back from them.
You are. So if they stop or at
I'll
the
fly back.
top,
You'll fly back.
she's gonna fly back. So Tortlock comes back.
Well,
and
before
are-
she gets
Do
there,
I see her flying?
right?
She is describing what she is doing. What you
Yes.
see, that's on
Before
you.
she gets back, I say, do you think she turned into an owl, or does she just think she's an owl?
It's gotten kind of dark here in the forest.
You can't even tell. And you know what? I just sort of land in a tree where you can't even see me, and I go, ooh, ooh. And then I'm like, what's up? You recognize anything yet?
You hear a voice from above you.
I guess if I'm a man of God, she can be an owl.
I suppose
It's dark here in the woods. All you can hear is her voice above you. You cannot see her.
if she's in the tree, I mean, she must be good at climbing at the very least.
Certainly an owlish thing to do.
It is quite, I suppose.
Wild
Stop
owls, they
talking.
go, what's up?
Right?
What's up? Can you recognize anything yet?
Tartla, is that you?
All I hear is hoo 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 up in
Right?
this tree.
I think
I
it's
was
some owl. I
already
don't know.
hooted. Now I am talking.
All right, I suppose it is Tartla then.
Guys, you're frustrating an owl. That's I don't know
kind
if
of
you-
hilarious,
If you've
though.
ever heard that old expression, never frustrate an owl.
I have not heard that one, Marshall.
You're kind of getting that one right on the nose here. Though.
Tartla, I actually recognize this area
Down.
a bit.
Okay, I'm
From
gonna
the far.
That's
transform
actually
back
the snow
from
melt
an
on
owl
the creek.
into a person shape.
Are you still in the tree?
you hear my voice move off into the trees, and then I walk out. And I
Oh.
brush some feathers off. Ugh. Being an owl is exhausting. Let's go.
Is it?
You see
You'll
me
have to
down the
teach
road,
me.
just kind of like.
You'll have to teach me that one,
I don't know.
Perla. I know a
I
little
can't
bit.
teach it.
You
Hell if
can't
I
teach
know.
it. Not
This
even
isn't
to
something I
me.
can teach. This is just something I is. Let's go.
This is something she
I
is,
don't,
guys.
I don't know what's going on here.
Okay.
Well, remind me to ask you about the licks to a son of a Tootsie Pop later.
Ah. The answer is
Tootsie Pop.
3, because at that point, you have to bite it.
So, Rosaline, at this point, up at the top of this crest, this does look familiar. This grove looks familiar. You can't be for sure because you can't see down inside of the trees down there, but you're pretty sure this is the right spot. So at this point, you guys might want to lower your
stealthy. I am very stealthy.
That's why you're talking
Hey.
so much.
Demo Chaos Knight. Thank you for the
Thank
follow.
you.
Or Demoka
right.
Operating System Knight. Thank you for the follow. It's a nice flavor and a good hobby.
Should we go for their horses first?
Okay, here's the thing. We've got to sneak up close and see them and their horses, and then we'll see what we can do.
Well, maybe only one of us should do that, so it's not all of us going up at
All
once.
right, I'll do it.
All right.
Tortla is picking up what you're putting down, Rosaline.
Maybe just go as a human this time.
Or I'll go as a fox.
All
She's
right,
a
well,
very stealthy creature.
I'm quite excited to see this fox.
I'm gonna do it when I'm close to them. See ya.
I'll
So
get
you
you,
start-
at some
you
point.
start walking down
Start
there.
laugh.
Yep.
Okay.
But I get close, and I'm like,
Well,
I first transform into a fox,
Sure.
and then I totally stealth out as a fox.
okay, but you don't want to get too close
No.
because first you want to make your stealth roll.
Yes.
So let's put all this together. You're in darkness, so that's a +2 to your stealth roll. These guys are asleep, so I'm gonna give you another +2 to that. I think that sounds about good.
Yeah.
A +4 sounds good.
Can we see people down there?
You can't. It's
Okay.
it's,
We're not
it's
close
hard
enough?
to tell from here because the moon is being a bit obscured by the trees that you're in,
Uh-huh.
so it's not quite as bright. And there are trees down in this small valley. It's not very far down there. These aren't like super huge trees. You can see mostly darkness down there, though. It's hard to make much out from this distance.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
All right, so make your stealth roll.
Ooh.
Sneaky fox.
I'm 7.
A 7. So that is
+4.
a success. Oh, +4. So that's an 11. So that's a success with the race. All right, so you are able to make your way down the hill.
I'm
and
a fox. You guys can't see me because I'm sneaking way beyond where you can see, but I'll tell you all about it.
Do you think she's a fox yet?
I can't tell. I'm a plated armadillo myself.
I believe that one.
So you make your way down into the trees, and you can actually you can start to hear horses every now and then. And as best you can figure, as you make your way down, you can see sort of the scene that she described.
Okay.
Using your eyes,
Yes.
you can see the shapes of the men that she described lying kind of circular around the remains of a campfire. And just on the other side of the trees, almost through the trees, on the far side of the town, you can see they've hitched their horses back there. So further into the wilderness from the town, so they wouldn't be easily seen from up on the crest you guys were on.
I want to do a loop.
Do a loop.
Like a wide loop, looking for lookouts, seeing if they have anyone who's supposed to be.
Okay.
Keeping
So you
guard.
made a pretty good roll. So we will continue with that stealth roll for this, unless you do see a lookout.
Okay.
At which point you will need to re-roll because he would be an active looker. So you start to circle around. So you're staying kind of like up on the side of the line, like above the trees a bit, where you can still keep eyes on everything. Okay. So you're circling around. You can see the horses, and you take
I count
care to you count them.
Yeah.
There are 11.
11
Yeah,
horses.
there are 11 horses.
There's,
here.
there's 11 people laying down there because there was the 1 and plus 10.
Right. So that seems to line up with what she had seen.
I'm also going to be very careful that the horses can't smell me because they might shy from smelling a fox.
You
Oh,
you
yeah.
make sure that you stay
Might spook.
downwind, upwind,
At least you're not a snake.
Upwind.
upwind of the horses. Upwind of the horses. I do not hunt.
You turn into a fawn who has no natural smell.
Ooh, yeah, that was
That's
poor
not
planning
stealthy.
on your part,
It's
Torla.
not stealthy.
Oh,
Can you
That is
jump
stealthy.
though real high?
Guys,
not what I'm
okay,
going after.
don't backseat animal transform here, okay? Let Tortla do
You're
her
right.
thing.
You're right. It was a faux pas.
Monday morning animal transformers here. Come on, guys. All right, so you start to circle around. You can see the horses. They seem to be fairly calm.
Good.
They're just hanging out. They don't seem to have caught wind or heard you. And as you continue to follow it around, don't go there. As you continue to follow it around, you're able to make a loop, and they don't seem to have posted any lookout. They seem actually pretty confident in their location, in their hideout,
Okay.
that they have all gone to sleep.
All right. So I'm going to sneak back to where these guys are, transformed back into a human.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Where's your fox shape?
I don't need to be a fox right now, so I'm not a fox.
I don't know.
Listen, this is what I checked it all out. They don't have a guard. They've got their horses tied up. Here's my plan. Let's go steal their horses, hog tie them.
Turtle, that'll wake them up.
We're
I'm
just
liking
hug-
the hog tying in this
Really, are
context,
ya?
though.
Listen though. What if we take 4 of them and hog tie them,
Christian Linke,
Christian
thank you for the
Linke.
donation. And hi.
Thanks so much for the donation.
Thank you.
and then tomorrow morning you can be like, God came down and did to you what you wanted done to us. Huh?
Now, I'm liking the sound of that one, but I kind of wonder how many people we're going to be able to hog tie before one of them starts squealing.
That's my concern as well.
No, this is a good question.
Also, when we start to try and get rid of the horses, they're going to make noise unless we do it one at a time and we don't scare them when we go over there.
I hate to be a brute, but perhaps if some of their throats were split, it would be a little easier to manage the rest.
You were mentioning something about explosions earlier. Do you think we could drop one down in the midst of all of them?
Well, I don't have any of those creatures on me right now.
You can't turn into an explosion beast.
No, obviously.
Well, that is a shame.
I can turn
Wasn't
into
obvious.
natural creatures. I cannot turn into unnatural explosion beasts. Duh.
Oh,
James,
that's
what's your take
unnatural.
on this situation?
Well,
We got hog tie 'em and leave them
Yes.
outside of town in a fit of poetic justice. We got maybe slit some of their throats and hog tie some of them if there's time.
I think mine's a compromise,
It
honestly.
is. It kind of splits the difference. And you seem to be going along with that plan for the most part, yeah. As a renowned hunter of men, what's your take here, James?
Here's the thing. We get one of these guys awake, he's going to bolt. We have to take care of the method of bolting, as it were. The horses need to go.
I think that's solid thinking.
Beyond that, I think slitting in any of these men's throats might be a little too harsh.
I was merely suggesting.
But we do need to incapacitate them, as it were.
What
I-
if we go
well,
on,
I-
James?
The hog tying is actually not that bad of an idea. However,
I knew
Oh
I
God,
would.
she's been waiting for that, you
Coming
guys.
through,
You could see it in her
Tarla.
eyes.
however, there
No.
might be just a few too many for us to hog tie.
I sat on
at
your
once.
shoulder as an owl.
Did you do that, James?
I agree with your assessment. I agree with your assessment. My suggestion in handling the numbers was to cut a throat or two. But if you've got a better way, that will be as effective.
What if we could scare them somehow? If you can turn into all of these beasts, maybe you could turn into a bear. And scare
I've
them
been a
off,
bear
right?
so many times.
Well, then you
So
can do it easily
Or an
now.
old hat to turn into a bear. Come
Have
on.
you seen her turn into a bear,
Also-
James?
Let's think this through. Would a bear scare 11 dudes with guns?
Hard to say.
No.
Darling,
Well,
no,
I'm loving
that would
running
get
with
me
this bit
shot.
as much as the next man. However, maybe we shouldn't prop our plan up on it too heavily.
You're probably right, dear.
Here's
It's
the
just
thing.
so much fun.
I can't argue with you on that point.
Here's the thing. We only really need one of these gentlemen, Johnny Carrington. If we get rid of the horses, and we control Johnny Carrington, the rest will follow suit.
Well, we need to
Okay.
make sure that the rest of them don't show
What
up
I'm
in
gonna
town.
do is I'm gonna use these acorns and I'm gonna use them to represent bodies on the ground. These are them.
These cursed Spanish acorns.
These cursed Spanish acorns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You
8.
could tell it's the Spanish
Where did I
breed of
start?
acorn because
Very
it,
easily.
has a it's invasive species,
9, 10.
has a slightly golden tint to it.
Perfect. I had 11. It was like fate.
Their shape is slightly more cylindrical than the standard French acorn.
Yes.
Let's say that this represents the horses.
You have 11 more of those? Probably. It's fine. It doesn't need to be exact.
What's your plan?
Well,
I want to hogtie this one, and this one, and this one.
well,
But I defer to your
If
judgment.
we could use some way to, I don't know, I'm just trying to think, instead of killing any of them, since James doesn't really like that, if we could somehow, I don't know, make them, they're scared in such a way.
James made the point that if you can take Carrington, the others might
Right.
throw down their arms.
All right.
I
So
think
this one,
that's your plan, right?
yeah. If someone,
this is Carrington.
here's the thing. Okay, if this is,
Fisty one right there. That's
Yeah.
that's Carrington.
if this acorn looks
It's-
fisty.
Yeah, it was. It's a unique-looking fisty
That's,
unicorn.
you pick out the best acorns,
It's
Tor.
not a unicorn.
It's an acorn. We'll let it slide
acorn.
this one time, Talene.
That acorn thinks it can turn into a unicorn.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
don't be ridiculous. Acorns can't think. All they do is cry all day. You were saying.
Thank you, Tor. Thank you very much. Okay. I get down here with a gun to Johnny's head.
Okay.
You, at the same instant,
What would we do? We want to get rid of the horses first before we engage.
yes.
Okay.
The horses go, but a gun needs to be trained on Johnny at the moment that happens because
So you'll be
the
there
commotion
with
will
the
wake
gun.
up the camp.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. You're gonna sneak down there and get ready to put your gun to Johnny Carrington's face.
Yep.
I'm gonna chase off the horses,
Yep.
possibly as a rattlesnake.
If we could
What are
do
you
it-
doing?
Well, how,
Hog tying
how's the
someone?
best to help you? If I come up behind you and try to scare the rest of them.
I think if you guys are positioned in such a way as you can either pick off any of the runners or perhaps keep them contained in this.
I see two
General
options.
area.
They hide in the trees and pick off runners, or they post up behind you and give you backup. I'll be
What?
fine. I'll be a rattlesnake.
What if I back you up and try and scare as many as I can? And if they're all heading the same way, you can hide back there and try and pick them off as they go. You can hog tie them even if you want, and you
Oh,
can
I
do
do
whatever
wanna
you want.
hog
of
tie
course,
them.
love
Well,
to.
Here's an important question. Tortlaw,
Yeah.
do you have rope?
I do.
She has rope. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted
I
to
will
say.
show it to
I
you
have-
here
I have
on my
rope on
list.
mine.
Bam, rope 50 feet.
And guys, as I remembered putting that on your list, I
Yes.
remember talking about that with you.
Yeah.
As
But you never knew that I would use it to hog tie
I did not.
people.
As we make this plan, I would like everyone to raise their glass.
I need more.
Because Christian Linke, you need more?
I do need
There's
more.
no time.
Okay.
Do a fake drink. No time. Christian Linke has donated for a toast. Here's to buffaloing and hog tying.
Here's
to
to
buffaloing and hog tying. Set them up, knock them down.
There's still a little there.
That's the end of mine.
I'm still drinking my original
Oh,
root beer.
Bandana Man has
Bandana
donated.
Man.
Thank you, Bandana Man.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
thanks, Bandana Man.
I
Now,
can't even see without. What?
Sprite? I guess.
There's a 7-Up.
7-Up.
It's Dr.
I'll just
Pepper.
do what I had before.
Oh, here's
Uh-oh.
right.
Don't spill it on the table like before.
I won't.
I'll take another Corona.
Do we have a plan here?
Thank you, kind.
But only one of those.
I think the main thing is that I will need coverage.
Is Angel City
Because
over
if I
there?
get 10 men pointing their guns at me, we'll have a little bit
know
of.
Well, these two have to give you coverage. You decide how. I'll take care of the horses. As soon as the horses are gone, I might steal one and ride it over. I'm going to be honest.
All right.
You put the fear of the Lord into them or whatever it is you do.
I can do that, James. You know.
And just be careful. And then you, well, you back me up.
This isn't my forte, but we can improvise if things go wrong.
I have a feeling your silver tongue might prove useful here too.
All right. So the
Do you want
plan
me to
is.
steal you a horse?
I would love a horse.
Quick
You're
question.
gonna steal him a horse?
Is there any rules about stealing horses from gang members?
Nope.
Good.
Not specifically.
Check the index for wrestling.
While you do that, catch me up on the plan here. So you're gonna go down and try and take Johnny Carrington.
Yeah, so basically while everyone is asleep,
Yep.
I'm gonna set myself
No,
up next
not
to
again.
Johnny. I'm gonna set myself up next to Johnny.
Okay.
Being
Ignore
very
that.
careful.
And then and once I'm in place, I make the hat tip motion for the horses to be run out.
Okay. So Tortlaw's gonna go in advance of you to take
Yeah.
care of the horses
I'm
once
going
she
to
gets the
sneak
signal
over
from you.
there,
Yep.
turn into a rattlesnake.
Okay.
On your signal,
Right.
Because if I turn into a rattlesnake too soon,
Oh, you don't want to do that.
the whole thing will go
You
to.
don't want to blow your snake load.
No,
Oh,
I do
we
not
all know that one.
want to blow my snake load.
Yeah.
I've done it before. It's not.
Hey, chat, quote that. You don't want to
No.
blow your snake.
No.
No need for that. Thank you.
No. I'm
And you can
already in
attribute
there
it to
as saying
either
that I
one.
like to watch people poop. So please, hey, quote this. I'm really in favor of world peace. Quote me on that.
All right.
No?
I don't know.
So
I'm
moving ahead with the
memorable.
plan.
Dang it.
You're waiting for his signal to spook the horses as a rattlesnake. And then at that point, once you have taken, or you're ready to take Johnny Carrington, you're going to cast fear on the rest after
Yeah.
he has awoken them?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not going to work, right? Unless they see it.
I mean, yeah, it'd be hard to
Okay.
scare some sleeping
Well,
people.
I didn't know if there's sound too or what.
There
but,
definitely is, yeah.
I mean,
but
if I could scare them beforehand, that would be safer for James. But I don't know if it'll work that way.
Potentially, but only if it works. If
Would it take would I take a negative for that?
No, not for them being asleep. If it doesn't work though, you'd have given away that you're there.
True.
So it might be better to wait for his signal, like he's saying, and then you're
Okay.
backing him up as a show of force.
Yeah, I think.
So wait, I'm sorry. Are we trying to like quietly hog tie as many as we can?
No,
And-
you're trying to publicly take Johnny Carrington, so the rest
Got
of
it.
his gang goes.
Cool,
Their horses are taken off, so they can't escape. They're panicked and scared, and their leader has been taken, so that they will throw down arms.
And if I get a chance
Yeah.
to hog tie somebody, that's all gravy.
If that happens, it happens.
But before we start this, what are we trying to get out of Johnny? Are we trying to get him to back down?
No,
Are
we're
we
trying to
get
take him.
him to go to town and say, I
kidnapping
don't
him.
need this for right. But what keeps the rest of his gang coming back after him after that? What keeps this Holbrook from coming after him?
Oh, they're gonna.
Well, in my perfect world, he waltzes into town tomorrow and tells them that God told him to stop messing with us, and we stand there waiting for him.
Well, that's
So
all
we
well and
didn't know what's
good.
gonna happen, but we gotta get him first.
It's hypothetical at this point, so if we're going to do this plan, let's throw it into action. But before we do, everyone raise your glasses.
All right.
Bandana Man would like us to toast. He would like us to raise a glass to freedom, something the Texas Rangers will try to make them never see again. Raise a glass to freedom, something the Texas Rangers will try to make them never see again. Set them up, knock them down. We nailed it. We nailed that one.
Oh, I'm almost out of
And
root beer.
apropos of nothing, maybe, with that toast, we have unlocked the final cumulative goal.
Whoa!
We have hit the reach goal,
Wait, the big one?
the big one, the
Wow.
very big
Big
one.
one. Wow.
Way to go! That is the second week in a row that you guys have reached for the sky
You guys
and
are-
touched it. So thank you guys.
It is amazing.
Chat is awarded a bonus 500 XP for doing this, and that is
Nice.
worthy of a mighty yeehaw.
You know how to do that?
A mighty
Garab,
yeehaw.
do you know how to do that?
Where the
Garab
fingers?
knows how to do that.
Tell us.
Everybody, let's yeehaw it for him.
All right.
Okay.
So thank you, chat. And these cumulative goals, should we get to them, will be announced tonight. If not, they will go into play next session. Thank you, guys.
I don't find anything in here about horse thieving or horse wrestling.
I told you it wasn't in there.
Or
He
did not.
I did.
He
I
did.
said it's not in there, and then he said, "Why don't you
Oh.
look up wrestling?"
I
Just
I
because
thought
he's
it sounded
also
like
named
wrestling.
Jordan doesn't mean
I don't get.
tell
I
you,
see where it's
just-
confusing.
Just
I don't
listen
get
to
the
Jordan
authority.
Prime.
Okay.
Again,
I'm
we
a
don't know which
liar.
one is the. All right. So, how are we doing this plan? What's step one? Tort Law sneaks in place
Tort
over
law
by the horses.
sneaks
Yep.
into place.
All right. So you're gonna need to make another stealth roll, but you're gonna make it at the same bonus.
I'm
you
going to
had
go ahead and
last
play
time.
this. Friendly characters, including your hero, add +2 to all trait rolls for the rest of this round.
We're not technically in a combat at this point.
Well,
but,
as soon as we are.
But go ahead and use it. I'm cool with that. Everybody's gonna
Okay.
add a +2 to their trait roll for the next action that they make.
Wow.
Okay.
So you were turning in your
Cool.
card.
Yeah.
Inspiration. You guys are inspired by Tort Law's ability to maybe or maybe not turn into owls and rattlesnakes and foxes. And if she can do it, and maybe not even be doing those things, then goddamn it, you guys can do this too.
Cool.
That's a 5.
Why
Do
don't
I-
you
do I-
take Johnny Carrington?
+4. 5 + 4.
5 + 4.
So it's a 9. So that's a success with a raise.
I done.
So you sneak into place over by the horses, and one of them kind of gets a little anxious at your
But I'm not.
approach,
But I'm like, I'm not a rattlesnake yet.
and
It's cool.
the horse responds positively and settles. All right, so Tort Law is in place.
All right.
James,
So everyone else is in place?
no, just Tort Law's in place.
Just Tort Law's in place.
So these two are following
This
you, right?
represents me.
But-
As a human, not a rattlesnake.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna do miniatures, but let's just keep this
Oh,
set up.
that's
No,
better.
it's fine. Here, put your miniature there, but keep all this set up because this is beautiful. This is Johnny Carrington right here.
All right.
Oh,
So-
I'm over-
So you're going to sneak up to Johnny Carrington.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he's following you, but he's probably hanging back just a little bit,
Yeah.
so you have time to get in
can
position.
be.
Uh,
We just grabbed.
Rosalie, where are you going to be in order to cast fear if
Well,
you need
I
to?
basically so if he's coming, wait, these are the horses or these are the horses?
These are the horses.
These
This
are
is
the
Tortla.
horses.
She's over
so
by the
we're
horses.
coming over here. Okay, so I'm
This is
pretty,
Johnny.
I want to be right behind him, basically, but I got to be in line. I got to have line of sight. I got to
Okay.
be close enough.
You'll have it.
But I want to be as concealed as I can. be.
Sure. Okay, so you guys are basically going to wait. Both of you are going to wait for him to get into position and then come up behind him, most likely. Okay.
And I'm
Piece
going
of
to, I want to be able to hear him because I want to be able to basically put that out at the best possible time to aid him.
It's a quiet night. There is not this much rain. Okay. Just a little windy. So
There's
you
just
guys
this
are
is a
fine.
creek.
So, James Bogue,
Yeah.
make your stealth roll to move into position.
What would I do to roll a stealth roll? I don't have stealth.
You don't have stealth.
Ooh.
Well, that's going to be a difficult part of this plan.
Yeah,
so
that-
you
Oh,
can
dear.
make any skill roll untrained, and in order to do that, you were going to roll a d4 minus 2.
Yikes.
Now you also get to roll your wild die, but that's going to be at
You
a
could add a
minus 2 as well.
d6 with the blue one,
You could, but you might
and
save
you get
that.
a +2.
Also,
We'll see. I can do this after I roll, though.
Yeah, yeah.
you do have a +2, so that actually gets rid of your modifier for being untrained. So you're
So it's
basically
just a
making
straight
stealth
roll.
at a d4.
Okay.
And you have plenty of cursed Spanish gold as well, so that should come in handy.
It's a
Okay, well,
4.
that's a success, but
That is a 4.
I want to re-roll this. I'm going to re-roll it.
It's a success.
Yeah, I know. Well, I will always have the success, right?
Right,
yeah,
but what are you
that's
gonna?
true.
What are you,
can
trying to
give me
get?
more cursed Spanish gold. I'll take it.
What are you trying to get
Hold
with
on,
a
Talene.
raise?
Don't talk him out of this.
There's nothing to get with a raise.
Talene, hold on. This is between me and Dom.
Well,
Done.
I'm
Done.
trying to
A
think.
set on your shoulder is now.
And he wants to sit on Johnny Carrington's shoulder as an owl while he sleeps.
Yeah, you didn't know I could turn into an owl, too. Okay.
Put it in my hand.
Should,
keep
should
it?
I add?
You can keep it, put it in my hand.
Should I add a little bit more?
Wiggle
Should I
I'm
fingers.
juice
just
it?
saying, like,
I might juice
he's
it.
about to try and mess us up, and the more cursed Spanish gold he gets, the better it'll be for him
40
to mess
minutes
us up
left,
with.
Dom.
Oh,
The time to decide is now.
but maybe.
Or you could waffle for a bit longer.
No, I'm just going to
Keep
move
a
up behind
success.
him.
Okay, so you go to move up behind Johnny Carrington, but it turns out he's a super light sleeper. Nope, you're fine. You sneak up next to him. Great stealth
Jerk.
roll. You nailed it. Nice inspiration, Celine. All right, so you move into position right over Johnny Carrington's sleeping body, aided by Rosaline's directions because she knew which one he was by the fire.
I'm just looking for the scar.
Yeah. And now you guys can move up closer to them without making a stealth roll, because you're going to hang
Okay.
back. You should be
Okay.
able to hang back far enough to where you wouldn't need to stealth in there.
And I do have my gun drawn.
You got your gun drawn, and you're ready to do your thing.
Are we all?
So everyone is in position, Bogue.
Yeah, so I'm just going to. Is his gun on his body? Or is this
Probably
holster
near
You
it.
can't see.
somewhere
He
else?
is rolled up in a bedroll. You don't see a gun around, though. So it's probably a safe assumption that Johnny Carrington sleeps with a loaded
But
gun.
remember that you're going to give me a signal first, so I can get rid of the horses.
Yep. So basically, I'm going to be over him, gun basically at his forehead.
Okay.
Okay? And then.
That's a mighty rude awakening.
Yeah. And then I'll make the little signal, and as I make the signal, I pull the hammer back.
Okay.
And I transform into a rattlesnake, and I hiss, 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 and the horses go crazy because I'm super scary, and they run away.
They do. The horses
Except
run away.
this one that I steal.
Nobody sees any of that happen.
2 horses.
Oh, I'm sorry. I steal these 2 horses. These
So,
2
yeah.
horses, I'm like, I quickly turn back into a human. I'm like, it's cool horses.
Which you would talk.
Far away,
Well, no,
Chris.
you probably just
Gold.
didn't unhitch those 2 horses. So
I probably didn't. Yeah.
because you guys
Yeah.
initially talked about keeping those 2 horses set aside.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so all the horses go thundering out, and the
That-
men start to
that wakes
start to
everyone
stir at that noise. And at the click of your hammer, Johnny Carrington opens his eyes and looks up into the barrel of your gun. Now all the other men are starting to rouse themselves as well, but they're all looking around confused. They've not yet realized what's happening.
I suggest you slowly move your hands out of that bedroll.
What?
The Deadlands book that I brought.
Now hold on here, boys. Everybody, I want everybody to just calm down right now. All right? it appears that we have been truly caught with our pants down.
Are they
It's-
all naked? Please tell me they're
It's
all
hard
naked.
to tell.
They all sleep
A lot
with
of
their
them are
pants off.
sleeping in their onesies.
I'm gonna turn around and go. All right, everyone, stay back. They're cooperating.
Ooh, make a persuade roll for me.
Okay. That is what is that?
2.
4?
It's a
That's a
2
4.
and a 4. I'm gonna.
Use a blue. You blue. Add.
Oh
add,
yeah,
maybe?
I have. I'm just gonna.
Could add a d6.
I'm gonna add a
Add a
D6 to
D6.
it.
You're gonna add a d6 to it?
Yeah, we
If
only
it-
got.
Just for freezies?
Yeah,
You got it.
I can do that.
Go ahead and do it. You guys might as well use those because
Yeah.
you don't get to keep them for the next
Yeah,
session.
I realize that. So that adds 3.
7.
So that's a 7.
That's a 7?
Yes.
So that is
and-
a success with no raise
Well, I also get +4 on.
on persuade rolls.
Well,
and this is an
no.
out of combat persuade roll.
This is out of combat,
So
so, I
it's-
get +4.
Yeah, you do get +4, so that's an 11.
Yeah.
So that's a mighty convincing way of saying that. However, Johnny is going to get to oppose this with his smarts roll, which he fails. But,
Wait.
I'm just going to use one piece of cursed Spanish gold here, just because I got it. Johnny's he's a pretty
man.
quick feller.
Spanish gold curse.
Yep.
He lost.
Hold on. I mean, he's quick, though. He's pretty quick. So let me use one of these cursed pieces
like,
of Spanish gold.
Whoa,
Wait, hold on.
whoa.
I'll just leave it there. It's going to be really hard to get this.
And
And it appears as well that these strangers from out of town have maybe riled up the good folk of Coldwater Creek and brought them to bear against us. Now, boys, clearly we are at a disadvantage here, so I suggest that all of you keep your weapons holstered. All right, stranger, what is it you want?
Well, I want you to move your hands out of that bedroll slow as you like, and your compatriots here to drop their weapons on the ground.
I
Just
ride-
drop those holsters, boys.
Can I ride up and hogtie someone?
You want to do that right now?
Well, I guess not.
All right, so Johnny looks at you, unwavering, and slowly brings his arms up out of his bedroll. You heard the man, boys. Drop your guns. They do. All right, we have complied. What's the next step here?
I don't know. No.
I don't know. What do you think we should do?
Okay,
I mean,
good, it worked, you guys.
if
That's
you were
great.
me, what would we do? I don't know.
never goes this well.
We mess up a lot.
Why don't you get up out of that bedroll here, Johnny?
You're the boss. He stands up.
Preacher, why don't you tell the men to prepare the jail? We're going to have a few inmates coming in there.
The jail we brought with us.
Jail we're going to take these people.
Yeah, that's
to.
right, preacher. Do inform the good citizens of Coldwater Creek to get ready for us, because we will be coming to the town soon as prisoners.
Been awful.
I whistle back, and I say, "There's only 11 of them."
Make another persuade roll for me.
What?
5 and 3.
All right, so I'll take the 5, and that's a 5 plus 4, so
That's a success with a raise.
that's a 9.
Haha.
I can't help but spend at least one piece
Well-
of cursed Spanish gold.
We are like making the Spanish witches work overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
You
that's a
lost.
one.
It
They
was a
just
one.
have gold after gold. And they,
So close. I'm going to keep it there. Johnny gives you a little bit of a searching look and then turns back to his boys. All right. So is that the plan then? We're to be accompanied by you back to town.
Put your hands behind your back.
He does.
Can I come up now and hogtie him?
Yes.
Tort, it is the moment you have been waiting for.
I come up with my rope and I hogtie him.
So you're going to tie his feet to his hands.
Yes.
Him specifically.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, Tort, it's going to be awful difficult. Nope, you've already begun. Okay.
She's doing it. All right. I'm going to say, based on your enthusiasm, that Tortlaw is no stranger to hog tying. So I'm not going to make you roll for this. I'm going to say you're
appreciate
probably a pretty good hog tire.
Probably.
damn
So
it.
you guys can
We
see.
should have given them the option to as long as you give your leader hogtied to us, we won't come and burn your camp.
Well,
But then I wouldn't have gotten a chance to hog tie him.
if options were
Tort
horses,
had to do it.
so you hog time, and you guys can see the control that Johnny is having to keep the seething anger from being humiliated like this in front of his men in check. But he quietly allows you.
I'm also
to hog
going
tie
to.
him.
He was sleeping in his long underwear, and after I hog tie him, and I hog tie him tight, I then unsnap the back of his little flap and I open it, and then I pat his butt.
All right, strangers. Obviously, we are all at your total mercy.
Quote that chat, by the way.
No, chat.
So are we to
You're not
begin
I would like to adopt an orphan. Quote that.
the trek back to Coldwater Creek now? Or do you wish to inflict more humiliations upon us?
Oh, I wish to inflict humiliations upon you all night long.
Make sure those weapons are all unloaded around their feet.
While all of this is happening, I'm just going to turn to him and say, it doesn't seem like I need to scare them at this point, does it?
I'll be honest, this didn't go the direction I expected it to.
It didn't. No.
They might realize that there are just 4 of us
I'm a little
rather quickly.
Right? What can we do about that? I mean, we can't take them unless we say we sent everyone else away. We can't take them all back.
Where are we going, strangers?
Jim, can we discuss real quick?
I've got a horse right here.
Transportation.
We need to huck him up on this.
Yeah, you get him on that horse, Tort.
James, there's no way we're going to get all these men back to town.
That's why we get their weapons away from them. Make them scatter. If we can do that, and they come back for their Johnny,
I'm pushing on
we
his
can
bare
prepare
butt.
the town for the influx, but they'll not have their leader.
All right.
All right.
Is his rifle around here?
His rifle's in his bedroll.
I'm taking that rifle.
All right.
I can scatter them if that's what we need.
We might need to.
All right.
Let's keep that on hand.
All right.
All right, now I'm loaded up on the horse. Fine. Are they all coming too? Are we going to hog tie each and every one of my men?
I'm in favor.
You don't have enough rope.
I don't, but
I have
I'm.
another 50 feet.
You know what? If you guys were to cut up all the rope,
Yeah.
you could probably hog tie all of them. But how are you going to transport 11 hog-tied men?
With our
Preacher,
2
I
horses.
think that our little deception is going to fall apart quite quickly.
Preacher, I think you need to
Put the fear
entice
of
these
God.
men
To leave.
to possibly
Run away.
not.
The Lord forgives. And those of you who throw down your weapons
Meanwhile, I'm
and wander
picking up
into
my
the
gun.
desert, as did Moses and the Israelites, you shall be forgiven. And I give you that opportunity now.
Johnny looks up at your words and kind of looks over to his men.
Looks
Boys?
up, because he's like hogtied.
Yeah.
And then I put him on a horse backwards.
It doesn't look cool, but he can still look up. And he looks over at his men and says, "Boys, I'd recommend you do what the strangers say." And they kind of look at each other and look at him kind of questioningly, and then kind of like start to back away with their hands in the air, away from their guns.
This is going too well. I don't
Well,
believe how well
we're really
this is.
only getting one of these guys out of here. We're going to have to contend with the
We
rest of
should
them.
move quickly.
Yes.
I'm a little worried about where the rest of these guys are going to go.
Honestly,
They're fading back into the trees at this point, so if you guys are going to do anything
Who
at
are
this
they
point, they're
going
about to
Did they
leave.
drop their guns?
Their guns are still around the campfire. They dropped them at Johnny's command earlier.
all right. Let's collect these guns quickly
All right.
and get the hell out of here.
All right, so Johnny's just sitting uncomfortably, awkwardly on the back of the horse, and just watching the 4 of you as you run around and gather these guns.
I pick up a gun and offer it to Tort.
What are you trying to do there? You trying to take my magic away?
That's going to be mighty hard to do with with this one.
Unbelievable.
Fine.
Is there
I
anything
forget the superstitions that people carry around with them.
right? Is there anything else left than just the guns?
No, all they dropped were their guns.
They didn't leave
I mean,
their
their
bedrolls
bedrolls are
or
there.
anything else.
Their
along
clothes
with,
are inside of their
Well,
bedrolls.
I want
They
to
all
go
walked
through their
away in their
stuff.
long johns. You want to go through their stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take bits of things.
Oh, you want to go through it quick or in depth?
I want to go through it quick, but I mean, she's looking to take little bits of things.
Okay. Little like things from each of them? Okay, yeah, you can definitely take a sock here, a thing there. You also find about
I have to take a sock. I will.
you also find about 15 Confederate dollars.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Just in total, like from a quick search. Now you're not going in depth through all of their stuff.
No.
But you managed to grab a few trinkets, like a photo, a little like a small pocket Bible,
Okay.
which I think they were
Put an
capable
even
of
tinier
producing
gun
at that
inside
point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the word. Part 2. So yeah, you're able to take a couple of trinkets from the various different bedrolls. You guys have collected all the guns. Are you putting those in your packs?
Yes.
Okay. There's about like 7 revolvers altogether. They didn't all have guns. Johnny was the only one who had a rifle.
You know what? In the midst of her finding some of this, if she found the 15 Confederate, she would probably spend more time looking for more stuff.
Okay.
I'm
They
saying
have
she would
faded
take
into the
more time.
trees. Like those men are gone from view at this point.
She would dig deeper, is what I'm saying.
You gonna rob from the bandits, miss?
Why not? It's not yours anyway, is it?
Men,
Sure.
you can meet us in town. We've got this handled.
Did you do that again? Make another persuade roll.
Ooh, you get to roll this.
Yeah, you aced it.
Nice.
Double ace. So it's a 14? No, an 18.
I mean, it's a 14
It's an
plus
18.
6. I mean 4. Yeah. So.
Oh! 13.
Wow. Wow.
Came real close, didn't you?
I'm gonna spend.
Wow.
I'm gonna
You
spend
really add a
Oh.
D6?
Yeah,
a
just
blue one to add a d6 to that.
potentially.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
So I got a 15 or a 16.
You had a 13.
I had a 13.
that's
I got a
right.
16. Son of a bitch. Johnny looks at you for like a
Boy,
long time. But then he just kind of like slumps down in defeat on the back of the horse. Well done. That's a good roll. All right, well, as you said, it's yours for the taking. So altogether, you find about 40 total.
40,
Right.
like Confederate?
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
Let's go.
So you have how many horses?
2.
2. No?
Well, because the other thing is, I realized I
Well,
don't
Johnny's
have
on one of the
ride.
horses.
Yeah. I mean, you can only get one more person.
And you're the only person at this table who can ride.
It's true.
Now,
We have to do
everyone,
other things.
everyone knows how to ride a horse, but no
Right.
one can actually ride a horse like
Right.
you can.
Right.
All right.
Well,
That was not sexual.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Felt the need to defend that.
Let's give Johnny the chance to save face by riding in tomorrow and saying that they had a change of faith. God came to one of them in their sleep and told her that their ways were wrong. He rides off. We forgive him. He does not go to jail. We do not kill him.
I think that's a great thing to offer him after spending all night with me.
What are you going to do to him? Turn into an owl at him?
What would that do?
I don't know,
Think
but I
about
want
it.
to see it.
Think about it.
I
You have
also
to
would
show
like to
me
see
this.
someone turn into an owl at someone else. I
I'm
think
also-
Torla, we would all like to see that.
I'm also
Would-
curious
I
as
don't
to
really-
what you plan on doing with him all night.
Persuading him.
Well, I can't deny someone the chance to be persuasive.
So is the
But
plan at this
your
point
look is worrying me.
to
allow
take
me-
him back to the church?
Well, I don't want to stay here, I say to the others, because this is where they know to come find us.
Yeah, that's probably not a
I
good
think
idea.
we should drop him right at the marshal's feet, personally. He's not doing his job. We did it for him.
At night, or do you want to wait
Although
till
I'm
the
a
morning?
bit
This
when
is
the-
the morning
concerned.
after I've had him.
It can be if that's what she wants.
Also, the
Tarkla.
townsfolk will all be assembled in the morning as per Prior's instructions.
Yes, and that would be quite a show, wouldn't it? But I'm a bit concerned about what the marshal's. I don't know. I don't understand his motivations.
Well, regardless of what we do, we're going to bring this gang onto this town. We've only got one of their leaders. We don't even know this Holbrook fella. So regardless, we're putting this town in a little bit of a bind here.
We are. Well, I think we need to play it up and make it as good looking for us as possible because I agree with you, James. I think we're bringing more heat,
I agree.
bringing this guy into town.
Now, we've scattered their horses and we've deplenished,
Deplenished?
Their
Deplenished.
their resources have been deplenished.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Are
at
you
this
guys,
point-
just to clarify, are you conversing on your way back to town, or are you guys staying in this clearing?
I
and
I
talking?
think
No,
we're going on our
I
way.
said
Okay.
we're going. And
Okay,
we
so you guys are on your way back to town.
I want to get as far
Here,
away from
I will,
that
I will
as
clear this
possible.
so it's confused.
I would
Clear the
say
clearing.
that I should ride the horse.
Yeah.
Because it's got a dude on it, and if something happens, I'll be.
There's
able
two
to
horses.
control.
You're better at it.
Well, that's
James.
true. There are two horses.
You can ride the horse with the dude on it, and I can ride a horse. I just can't ride a horse.
All of you
Everyone
have
can
grown up
ride.
in a time and in areas where you would know at least the basics of riding a horse. You just are not skilled at
But
it.
is it old ways?
Oh, riding a horse?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oldest.
Well,
I'll,
And her
riding
horses
riding
in
tortoises.
North America.
is
her
pretty
old
cool.
ways oath is returning to the natural state.
sure, but there weren't horses in North America. They
Right.
brought them from Europe.
But they view
I didn't know
horses
if
as
they-
natural creatures.
Sure.
And also her old ways oath is minor, so she will do some things under protest, but she
Totally.
won't totally reject everything.
I just didn't know if that fell into
Yeah, no, the horses are still natural creatures, so those would be
Word.
fine under the old ways oath.
So we can.
the
take
thing
a-
is, I would say ride ahead, but to where?
No.
And if you're by yourself, without me, you're in grave danger.
Well, you can put two on the other horse.
All right.
Someone's still gonna walk though.
Well, you can fly. So
You
we
two can ride that horse, and I'll
Right.
fly.
Perfect.
Okay.
I like this idea.
All right, so you two are gonna ride the
But
one
let's
horse.
all remember when you're on these horses that I stole them, so they're mine.
You
Duly
did
noted.
quite a good job, Tartla.
Thank you.
All right, so you two grab one horse, and you're getting on front of Johnny. Okay.
I'm gonna
and
make
you
sure that
guys,
my gold is all
and then Tortlaw just kind of disappears into the darkness of the woods, right?
Yep.
And you guys make your way back to town.
Oh, on the horse, I'm like, well, it's our last chance to bolt and claim that we never saw the.
You're right. I don't
Brain
know.
cell.
I just feel like there's so much to get out of this town. It seems like such a waste.
I agree.
Do you think we can make it work? I mean, I think you can, if anyone can.
We're in too deep now. Oh, I lost my accent there for a moment.
I do that all
We're
the
in too deep
time.
now.
You're right. I
Let's
think
ride
we
it
are.
out.
And then you
All
hear
right.
a hoo hoo.
I think
What's that?
Tartla's following us. And I think that came from the ground. Maybe this owl is walking. I'm going to figure this
Not-
out at some point.
Did not come from the ground.
Do you look back at Johnny at all during this?
Yeah.
He is just observing and very quietly, just listening and being very still and quiet.
But he can't hear us, right?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume he could, and you guys are riding right next to him. If he listened really intently, he doesn't have much else to do. But we'll say you guys were talking quietly because you know he's there.
Yeah.
This time.
You know something? Since I'm flying anyway, I'm gonna detour back and like just sweep our trail
Okay.
to see if any of those dudes have turned around and come back.
Okay. You don't notice anybody.
Okay.
So you guys make it back to the church.
Okay.
And about 45 minutes later, Tortlaw makes it back to the church.
Nice.
Pretty good time flying.
I had to
Yes.
check things out and make sure that none of them were following us.
Are any of them following us?
No, but I was very thorough in my check. You're welcome.
Well, that's what makes you a good scout. We know that.
Appreciate it.
We do.
I just wanted to get some clarification. Y'all are taking me to a church?
Well, that's where we're staying right now, isn't it?
Oh, right, because this one's the preacher.
Of course it is. And you could give him some respect for that.
Oh, yeah, of course, as much as owed.
Just be thankful we're not taking you to jail just yet.
Oh, I'm mighty thankful, stranger.
No.
So which
No.
one's my room?
Your room
Oh, you
is
don't get
here
to
hogtied in the middle of the ground with me while I leave.
Oh, so you and I are to remain outside.
No, this is, yeah, we're outside. That's where we are.
Tort,
What?
you're not gonna kill this man.
No. Not this
I
time.
think when the morning comes, he'll wish he was dead.
Oh, really?
Willie. That does sound.
What is it that you
Mighty
seem to
disturbing.
know? You seem so confident over there. And you're hogtied, so what is it?
It does seem like the right question to be asking, doesn't it, miss? What I know is I know Carlton Holbrook.
Carlton.
That's right.
I thought his
Yeah, that'd
name
be
was
his first name.
Johnny.
This
No,
one's Johnny.
he's
This is
Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah,
This
y'all
is
seem a
Johnny.
mite confused.
Well, what do you know about him?
What do I know about him? I know he's crazier than any other person I've met.
You have not met me. Wait, hi, nice to meet you. My name's Tortlaw.
I'd love to shake your hand,
You
but I'm a
can't
bit
shake my hand
preoccupied.
because I hog-tied you real good. I take a hold of the ropes and I shake him up and down real hard.
Tartla, maybe we should make our guest here a bit more comfortable.
I also know that each and every injustice and humiliation I suffer at your hands will be repaid in kind when he finds out what it is you've done
Well,
and what it is you think you're going to do.
The thing is that maybe I enjoy having things put up my butt.
Wow, Tartla, she's really getting into this. More power to you.
I apologize.
How
I
is
gotta
he
say,
going
I
to
don't-
find
You
saying
complain about
that?
the quotes.
I don't
but
quite
you just
follow
feed
that.
them.
I don't
do
quite
that.
follow that line of thinking.
How is he going to find out? That's what I want to know.
Well, let's sit here and think about this for a second. I'm gone. My men ain't. In fact, as we speak right now, they're heading back to where it is that Holbrook is, or will be, seeing as he's out of town at this point. And since Holbrook Goes Shopping was unlocked,
I was like, wait, what?
Holbrook is actually in the midst of procuring something that's going to be mighty helpful to us.
Why do you think this wasn't our plan all along? Why do you think we're not after Holbrook?
You strike me
already?
as more of the improvisational types
Oh,
than
do we?
the
Look how
people
good
who
we're
come in
doing.
with a good plan. So do what you want to me. Just know that
Right?
you'll be getting it back 10 times over.
Listen, Johnny, you got a bounty on your head. Your boss has a bigger bounty. If he's coming for a reason, and that's for me to get this bounty.
Do you know who James is here?
Oh no, not yet. But I imagine he and I are going to be intimately acquainted.
Probably by the end of tonight.
Not quite as well as you and I will get acquainted at some point, I assure you.
Oh, I look forward to it. I
You gotta work on your tough talk,
I
Tor.
honestly cannot tell if this is flirting or not.
I
Are
can't
you
either.
engaging in the act of courtship?
I can help you with that.
No, I'm gonna
Sorry,
torture
guys.
him.
I said Carlton Holbrook. That wasn't it. It's Colt Holbrook.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
because it's Carlton Harris.
It's Carlton Harris is the mighty
You don't
person.
even know your boss's own name.
He did not misspeak. I misspoke. Don't put this on Johnny's feet. He's doing the best he can as a henchman.
Damn it. Tort, you look after him.
I'm a little scared now.
I
I want to let him go.
we can't let him go.
Why are you scared? He's just bluffing over here. We don't even know what he's talking about.
No need to
All
be
right,
scared.
hold on, everyone. You sit right there.
Sure.
Everybody come over here for
You
a
know what?
moment.
I think of my own volition, I'll decide to stay right where I am.
Isn't that wonderful?
All right.
So helpful you are.
I say we meet in the back room for just a moment. Tort, can you do your weird stuff with him? I don't know what
I
you're
literally
planning.
only had the idea to light a fire and threaten him.
Oh,
You guys, I'm a little
I thought
worried
there were
about
stranger
Johnny
things
at this
going on.
point. Because at one point, some butt stuff was mentioned.
Well,
I also heard that.
Right?
the bounty was dead or alive. It didn't mention anything about butt stuff.
I thought I would put some stuff in his butt, and he'd be like, "I'm so
right.
unhappy," and then I'd be like, "Ha ha, it's
All right.
done." But this is
All
not
right,
going
sorry,
how I
Bob.
thought.
Hold on. What is your goal with
Might
that?
have gone
goal?
too far, Tor.
To make me laugh.
It makes you laugh, but it doesn't help us with any information.
All right. At
which
this,
is what we need.
at this point, you guys are starting to get really tired. It's getting very late. It's past midnight at this point.
Oh
so,
no, I'm a heavy sleeper.
Ooh, that's a good point. But before I make you make a vigor roll to see if you can stay awake, which you will probably fail, let's put a pin on what it is that you guys are planning to do with Johnny.
Clearly, none of us have any idea
Yeah.
what it is.
I
And he's
had a
starting
plan.
to pick up on that as
It
well.
was supposed to go wrong by now.
So,
The plan was supposed to go wrong by now. Is indeed.
The plan was not for this to go as
The
well.
plan.
We were going to fight with our backs against the wall and kind of come forward and surge, and it's going to be dramatic and great.
He's acting all happy about this. Normally, we're in control.
so listen,
All I've got is butt stuff. Maybe some fiery butt stuff. That's it.
James, you had us not cutting their throats. I got to assume you had something going on here. If 40 men roll up on this town tomorrow, we are gonna need to get the hell out of Dodge.
well, Yeah, here's the thing. This whole town is at some point going to burst. This Holbrook gang is
Because
going
there's
to
a
come in at
monster
any
that
point.
explodes people.
You guys are
That's
out of
there
earshot of
too.
him, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're in the
We're
back
in the, we're, in
room.
the, we're in the church. Yeah.
Okay. Is she still outside on the ground?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Well, we need to use them as leverage somehow against this Holbrook, or else it's going to bite us in the ass, and
Literally.
literally. So I don't quite know how to go about that. We already have the town on our side, but what else can we do? I mean, I don't know if this Holbrook is the way he sounds. You have more experience with these kind of people, but I don't know that he's going to care about one man from his gang.
Well, from the sound of Johnny, it sounds like he's going to come rain heaven and hell on this town just to get Johnny back. So
But why? Why is he so important?
What?
If that's the case, then we have leverage right there, don't we?
What
Well,
if
that's what I'm
Johnny
hoping.
isn't in this town?
What's that?
What?
What if Johnny isn't in this town?
Where is he going to be, Tartla?
Someplace else.
But I don't understand what
So
you're heading towards.
you guys are starting to get really tired.
Really freaking
And you're
tired.
also starting to get your hackles are raised. You guys are a little on edge, and
We are quietly panicking.
you're starting to get a little snippy with each other. At this point, it might be best to get at least a couple hours of sleep and try and approach this with a clear head.
What time is it?
Like I said, it's
Well,
past
after
midnight.
It's past
It's
midnight, so
getting
it's
close to 1.
All right.
Tortlaw, make a vigor roll for me. Remember, that's at a -4.
You got a 1.
Add a. All right.
Yeah, you could.
You can't add anything with that.
She can
It's a
reroll.
reroll.
Reroll. Okay. There you
See?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Hey yo.
Nice.
Oh.
Hey.
Barely hanging
good.
on there. Okay,
You
I
can,
made it.
your eyes are getting heavy, but
Apparently,
you
you're like,
are.
I got to hog tie someone.
I've got hog tying in like adrenaline.
You
going
guys,
on.
you guys can see though
Are
that
you all
turning
right?
into an owl, a fox, a rattlesnake,
Yeah,
and then an
they're-
owl has really
they're
taken
really
a toll
tired.
on Tortlaw.
Are
She
you all
seems to
right?
be getting tired.
Tartla.
I'm not gonna be able to torture him all night. I am very tired.
All right.
And honestly, I didn't have that many ideas.
I think we all need some sleep.
You're right.
He's not going to be getting out of these ropes on his own overnight.
We should put him someplace not outside where we can lock a door
Does this
and there's
place
no windows.
have a cellar of some sort? Did we get that far? I didn't look.
This place does not have a cellar.
Well, it
Does
has
it
a
have a
bell
closet?
tower.
It does. There's a supply closet.
Oh,
There's a bell tower.
you're right,
There's
the
the
closet's
empty
even better.
upstairs. There's the living quarters, and then
Oh,
the
not the
main area
living
of the
quarters.
church.
I say let's put him in the bell tower.
As long as he can't.
The bell tower is exposed.
Nope.
It is open to the elements. So I
not
mean,
put him
Closet. Let's put him in a closet.
The closet it is.
all right. So you guys come and grab Johnny and put him in the supply
We
closet.
put him in a closet.
He, with as much quiet dignity as he can muster, being hogtied in his long johns,
With
while-
the butt flap open.
with the butt flap open,
Guys, starting the
and
fun
he's
stuff.
a little worried about why the butt flap is open at this point. But you guys pick him up and take him into the supply closet and leave him in there, and he just glowers at you as you close the door.
Just before I close the door, I go, just word of warning. Tortlaw sleepwalks. Close the door. Lock.
Okay, I go to sleep.
All right, so you're going to.
I will too.
So you guys are taking the living quarters of the church.
Yeah.
Where are you guys sleeping?
I'm going to sleep in the upstairs.
The empty upstairs? I mean, you've got a bedroll with you. You can
Yeah.
probably lay it out. And Tortlaw, would you sleep inside or outside? Or would you sleep like up on the roof or in the bell tower or something? Where would Tortlaw sleep?
Well, I would sleep outside,
Okay.
but now
Nice
I feel like
campfire.
I'm gonna get killed because of that. All right, whatever. I'm outside.
Okay.
I'm outside the front. I pile up some comfy leaves.
Out in
I
the
take
front or
my-
in the back? It's not important. This is just for
No, the
clarification.
front.
In the front. Okay.
Then I'm gonna die.
Okay. So keep in mind you're a heavy sleeper.
I
So
remember
it's entirely
that.
possible on a Sunday morning that you might still be asleep as people are walking up to go to church.
Oh, that actually pleases me
But that's
immensely.
for the future.
Then
That's for
I'm
the future.
across the front of the steps.
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking. All right, so you guys all drop off for the night. However, at some point in the night,
They come to kill me.
Rosaline, something wakes you up in the middle of the night. You're not sure what it is, but it's something that suddenly rouses you to consciousness. And you look over to see if it was Gabriel, but he seems to be sleeping soundly beside you, and you kind of sit there for a little bit and you listen to the emptiness of the church and the settling of the new construction. You think in the quietness that maybe you can even hear James adjusting upstairs, maybe rolling over in his sleep. And then you hear what sounds like whispering coming from the main room of the church.
I'll head that direction.
You're going to get out of bed and head that way? Are you trying to move quietly?
Mm-hmm.
Make a stealth roll for me. 5. Okay, that's a success. So you get out of bed and start creeping towards the door. So the living quarters opens up into like the back area, and then there's a door that leads out into the main area of the church.
Okay.
So there's kind of like a kitchen sort of area there in the middle. So you kind of move into the kitchen, and you can definitely hear what sounds like one male voice.
I would
whispering
have grabbed a knife, incidentally. I didn't think of it before I left, but if I heard whispering,
Do you,
after
I
all this-
assume you sleep with a knife
Yeah,
at least
I
somewhere.
probably do,
Okay,
but I would
so
have taken it.
you grab that. So you have a
At
knife.
least I have Mary.
You hear, okay, Mary. You hear what sounds like a male voice whispering from inside the main area of the church, and you can almost make out the words, but not quite.
Can I get a little closer?
Yeah.
What? So am I like at the door?
So you're in
frame?
the kitchen, and
I'm in
there's
the
the
kitchen.
closed door to the main area of the church where the pews and the altar and all of that.
Can I press
stuff
my
is.
ear to the door then?
Yeah, you can move up to the door and press your ear to it. And you can definitely hear whispering, and it sounds like a male voice, and it sounds agitated, and it sounds like something's being repeated over and over again. But through the heavy wooden door, you can't
Does it sound
quite
like a voice I
feel what
know?
it is. It does not sound like a voice. You
I'm
know.
going to start to open the door.
Okay, make another stealth roll for me.
8.
Okay, successful raise. So very quietly, you open the door, and since they are new hinges, they do not squeak. And you open it, and looking out into the church, there's just a little bit of moonlight coming in through the stained glass window and kind of illuminating the inside of the church in strange dreamlike colors from the stained glass. And you can see what looks like someone's head down at the altar at the front of the church, so close to you, but on the other side of the altar. And it seems to be moving back and forth like that, and you can hear the whispering is coming from this person, like they're in some sort of intense supplication at the altar of the church.
It doesn't look like anybody I know.
You can't see the face, you just see the top of a man's head. And he seems to be saying, no, that's not what the Lord would command. I will not listen, I cannot listen, no. He's just repeating refrains of that over and over again.
I'll probably start to go. So I'm imagining this church is like has one main aisle and then pews on either side, and then he's up in the center.
Right, so you're here, you're coming through like the
So
door
if I'm-
here. The altar's here, and he's on the far side of the altar from you. So you can he's on his knees, it looks like. So you can just see the top of his head over the altar.
So but he's not in the center. Like if I came up down the center aisle, I'd be going behind him. Is what I'm trying to figure out.
No, here, hold on.
Sorry.
Here's the altar, the back wall. Here's the door you're at, and there goes the center aisle of the church.
Oh, I'm at
and
the
the
other
pews
side.
here. Yeah,
Oh,
you guys
I
are at the
thought I
back
was
of the
in the
church.
living-
That's where the living quarters are. So here's the altar. It's kind of up on a raised dais there, and he's on this side of it. So you're here,
Okay.
and he's on his knees in front of it, so you can just see his head moving.
Okay, so I'll probably, he's down, so I'm just going to quietly try and come around this way because I want. Actually, how tall is this?
It's like just a 5-foot step up, basically, just a little
So
bit.
it's not like this is
rise.
blocking his view of me.
It is a little bit because he's down. Like you can't see his face. If he were to like straighten up, he would be able to see you over it.
I want to kind of get lower to the ground and come around this way to see if I can kind of use this as cover, but I want to be able to see his face.
Okay, so you start moving around there, and I won't make you make another stealth roll. And as you get closer, he's going, no, this can't be right. You can't. This is not the voice of God. This is not right. I won't do these things. And he's still rocking back and forth. And as you start to move in closer, you step on a somewhat creaky floorboard of the church, and he stops. Who are you? And he turns over to look at you, and his face just seems wrong. It seems disfigured in some way that you can't understand. His eyes are not in the place they should be. They seem like empty pits. His mouth is up on the side of it, and all of his features seem to be sort of melding and swirling together. And he looks right at you and points up at you, and all of a sudden your eyes open. And you are standing in the middle of the church,
Here? Or
right
just
where you
somewhere
were,
else? Yeah.
as though you had just awakened walking,
Uh-huh.
and it's empty.
And there's no one anywhere.
No.
I'm gonna go look. I'm just gonna look around where he was.
Okay. Make a notice roll for me.
4.
So you go and look over there and see if you can see any sign of that man, but no indication that you can see
Nothing.
would signify that anyone was here.
What? Is it still night? Is it still dark?
Mhm.
Okay. I might kind of look around in here a little more.
Okay, so we'll use that same notice roll.
Okay.
So you take a
and
little time to kind of like look around through the pews and kind of check, but as far as you can tell, the church is empty.
Okay. And where's Johnny in comparison to where I'm at?
Johnny is back, so here's the kitchen, here's your living quarters. Johnny's back in a closet tucked over there.
Okay. I'll probably. I don't know. So do I feel like I was asleep?
You're not sure.
I'm
All
not
you know
sure?
is you were standing there, then your eyes opened, and you were standing there.
Okay. I'll probably just go back to bed. then,
Okay.
But being very aware of my surroundings on the way
Okay.
to see if I notice anything else.
Nothing seems amiss.
Okay.
And you go back and lie down next to Gabriel and try and fall back asleep. Chat, you unlocked some high strangeness. And that was a little bit of high strangeness to add another wrinkle to what's going on here in Coldwater Creek. At this point, with you guys sleeping with the new day dawning tomorrow and everything that comes with it about to happen, I feel like this is a good place to call it to a stop. I will say, the other things that chat unlocked with the reward tiers, but we did not get to tonight, I'll give you the title of those.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
So chat unlocked Boyd and his boys.
No.
Chat unlocked Holbrook Goes Shopping. They
Mm.
unlocked High Strangeness. And they unlocked One Riot, One Ranger.
Oh.
What?
And that was the reach goal.
No.
So that's a little hint
I
of
feel
what's
like we
coming down the
toasted a
pipe.
hint about that. About
I don't
Texas
know.
You did.
Rangers.
Oh.
Maybe that was in response to
Oh.
unlocking a reward tier. Maybe it wasn't. I can't say. I am but a humble marshal at the table. But at this point, guys, I'd like to thank you for that session. I feel like we got a little bit of a better feel for the characters this session because it wasn't eaten up as much by combat, which is what I was hoping for. Your plan, I will say, to take down Johnny and his folks worked pretty well. I
shocking.
think that was...
see how
We're
it
still
continues.
pretty worried about it.
I mean, the utility aspect of it that you guys put into place went off without a hitch. So
I think that just shows
Well
how
done.
unsettling it can be to just not be perturbed by things.
And I want to thank you guys in chat for hanging out and for all the donations you gave us. You guys were great. You guys
Awesome.
donated a lot of stuff. I also want to give a shout out real quick to James V, because James V actually was very kind and sent us many different Deadlands miniatures, some of which I have right here. We sorted some of them and put them up there. We will be at no shortage of miniatures for this game because of James V. And he also got us a couple extra source books for the table and the Smith & Robards catalog, which you guys will be able to peruse at some point and consider purchasing any and all manner of wondrous mad scientific devices. So thank you very much for that, James
Thanks,
V.
Yes, thank you.
I also want
Really
to
awesome.
thank Christian Linke for doing the issue of the Coldwater Harbinger that he wrote up for us about the last game session. If you guys missed that, you can find it on our social media. He wrote up the front page of the Coldwater Harbinger, which is the newspaper for our town, and gave some great like kind of color and flavor for the town. So thank you, Christian, for doing that.
Thanks, Christian.
Yes, thank you.
Do you
Awesome.
guys have anything that you want to plug before we head out? Anybody got anything going on?
I'll be guesting on Phoenix Dawn Command tomorrow
Nice.
Phoenix Dawn Command tomorrow with GM Mac.
with GM
Mac
Mac.
Beauvais. Is that how you
Mac
say it last
Beauvais.
name? I don't say it out loud very often because I read it and I'm like, I'm nervous with French words. But okay, cool. Yeah, that's tomorrow morning.
If you are in the Los Angeles area, then you can check out my sketch group. We have a performance tomorrow night at the Nerdist School on Sunset, where the Money Pit will be performing at 8. And it's going to be a great show. And a new episode of my podcast that I'm part of called This American Lie just came out this week. Check it out. It's funny.
Check that out. And that's on any and all podcast delivery
It's
services.
on iTunes, and then you can find us on Facebook and for other locations.
And leave an iTunes review if you listen
That
to
would
it and
be
like it, because that's really helpful for podcasts.
Wonderful. It would be great.
I would say if you liked this show, please go back. I don't know what to link. I'm not going to look at the link.
I said, what's not to like?
Well, that's true. That's true.
We are very likable. We didn't even get to the butt stuff.
We didn't.
We have maintained our lily white reputation.
Appreciate it if you go onto YouTube and any of the old videos on this. Just go ahead and give those guys a like. It's really awesome, and we appreciate it. But also tune into our social media on Sunday, because you might get some surprises from this team.
That's right. We might be going on a little bit of a Wildcards field trip, so there should be some fun things to come out of that. Also, guys, I will say, if you enjoy the game, we didn't show off the mechanics of it quite as much tonight, although we did do a social conflict, which is an interesting aspect of this game as well. Savage Worlds is the game that you want to find, so you can buy the Savage Worlds core rulebook from Pinnacle Games' website for $9.99. You can find it at your friendly local game store for that price. This is all you need to run a Savage Worlds game. It's a great deal for your money. If you're interested in Deadlands, you can buy the Deadlands source books from their website as well. But also, if you back their Kickstarter right now, they have 2 Kickstarters running, one for the Goon and one for Fear Agent. They're both awesome, but either one, if you back them at, I think, the $25 level, you get a digital PDF of all the Deadlands source books you need to run Deadlands, the East Texas University source book, which is like a creepy Buffy college thing, and the Last Parsec source book, which is a sci-fi setting that they have. So it's a really good value for money. That's in addition to either the Goon stuff or the Fear Agent stuff. So you should definitely check that out. I think it ends in about 3 days. I think it ends Monday. So definitely hop on that wagon. They've unlocked a lot of stretch goals, and there might be some more things coming down the pike if they get a lot more. So check that one out, guys. And yeah, I think that's all for us. So I guess, guys, until next time, we'll sign off with some finger guns.
Oh.
Finger guns. Pow, pow, pew, pew. Right at you. Oh, look out, guys. They've got finger guns, too. It's coming right at us. They're coming right for us. Oh, no, he's been hit.
Oh, good.
Hog tie him!
What?
Time.
Keep using your finger guns.
Okay.
We're better with those. You're the only
Eventually-
one that's got any rope.
Eventually
Oh,
they'll
God, he's
cut.
dying in death throes. No, it's awful. He's so dead.